All right, my friends. All right, my friends. How are you? All of you. Welcome to this video. Trying to get everything here under control. All right, thank you. A few minutes late. I appreciate it actually that you're taking time to be here with me. It is always a pleasure. Always an honor to do these videos. Let me put this. I think the music is too loud. Yeah, the music is too loud, so we'll fix it so it doesn't get in the way. But anyway, welcome everybody, all my friends, everybody that is watching this. Thank you very much for taking time to be here with me. I truly appreciate it. I'm watching here on this screen, this tiny little tablet I'm watching. Oh, I want to make sure that I keep up with all the comments and stuff and all the chat. But in any case, my friends, welcome to this video, this week's video. There's so much to talk about. As always, there's always a lot to talk about. And definitely there is a lot of things. Of course, you know, we have SideshowCon happening this week, and I think it's going to continue until next week. I haven't really paid so much attention to SideshowCon, just the basics. There's so much I need to talk about what I think about SideshowCon. Many of you know my opinion about it. Not necessarily I'm thrilled with it. I don't think it's the greatest thing. Hey, how you doing? Late night trip. How are you, my friend Brian? Thank you very much for taking time. Appreciate it. And I gotta be honest, like, you know, SideshowCon has become such a disappointment that nobody really cares much about it. But there's some things that we can talk about that there, I would say, good. And there's a couple of things that need some work for sure. But we're gonna cover that today. And but everyone, you know, happy Friday. Definitely, this is the summer, so there's so much to do. You know, a lot of things that we can definitely consider. A lot of things that we can say that definitely there's a lot of things that we can say they're fun during the summertime. It's also a hectic time of the year. If you have a family, there's a lot to do. A lot of responsibilities and stuff like that. You know, going out, visiting family and all of that, so it's good. And definitely was a busy week at work. One of my co-workers was on vacation. He was on vacation first, she went on vacation too, she just came back. And I definitely had a lot of work to do by myself. So, but definitely we're pulling through, we're coming through. So I want to say to all of you, welcome, all the guys here. Thank you very much for taking time. Now, today, of course, before we get into the whole list of things that we're going to cover today, definitely I want to point this out. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram. I share this. I'm a Marvel Legends fan, although I don't collect all the Marvel Legends. I used to back in the day. But in any case, I went to GameStop and I found this figure, and it was on the clearance section. Only pay $20 for it. It was going for $50. Hard to come by. It's a really nice video. You have to put it all together. Maybe I'll put it together in a video, whatever. I don't collect all the Marvel Legends, but unless they're super cool, and I like big figures, so big characters. So MODOK is a great character, so I love this. Only $20, and I'm sharing this, even though many of you are not action figure collectors, so don't care much about Marvel Legends. The reason why I'm sharing this is because right now, when I went there, normally I just stop by a GameStop just once in a while. I really don't care much about it anymore, but I stopped by it out, you know, not something to kill on the way back home. I decided just to stop by to see what they had, and I found it there. And the guy that was there, he told me that right now they're actually doing a lot of clearance stuff with a lot of their figures, and they have statues. They even have some PCS statues that I didn't care much about, but they had some stuff there. And they were, you know, the tiniest, smaller statues, like the vinyl stuff. I just didn't want them. But there were other things, and you know, right now they're trying to clear a lot of stuff because they're getting ready for Christmas. So if you're into figures, if you love the collectibles that sometimes GameStop sells, then pay attention to their local GameStops. You know, stop by, because right now they're clearing a lot of stuff, and this was like 50% on the clearance price. So it was like they're ultimately only paid $20 with the taxes. So I think it's a great deal for this, and I just saw it there and said, well, wait a minute, let me just grab it, because I know some people are having a hard time finding it. So cool. That's just, I want to let you know. Stop by GameStop, you know, where all the clearance stuff, you might find some good deals. They even have t-shirts and all that kind of stuff for really good prices. So there's always cool to check things out. And you know, I'm not a hater. I don't You know, I don't only collect one thing. I collect so many things. I collect action figures, I collect statues, die-cast models, omnibuses, whatever. You know, maybe I just Rat Pack. Who knows? But welcome, my friends. And today we have a lot to cover. Now we go into the list of the things that we are going to cover today. Of course, on the action figures, I want to talk about Mondo. Mondo, they released this week a She-Ra statue. You're a fan of the Masters of the Universe. We're going to talk about that one. It's already, the pre-order was closed, but I want to talk about it today. Also, Threezero, always releasing figures. They have a couple of things that I want to cover today. So we're going to cover some of the stuff. Damtoys. I was supposed to talk about it last week. I didn't prepare. It was on the list, but I skipped it for some reason. Sometimes I jump into one thing to the next. Hey, Brian. Nice. Thank you. So I really jump into certain things. And I just skipped it. And I didn't notice. But actually, I'm happy that I skipped it because Damtoys did something really cool. And with one of the figures, they was having some issues, a lot of backlash because people were not happy with this. And I'm gonna mention it when you get there, some of the figures with the joints and stuff, but they decided to fix it and they did a good job. So that's good. And some of this stuff is available at Sideshow now. So we're gonna cover that today. Also that's for the Resident Evil figures. We're gonna talk about Hot Toys. Of course, Hot Toys is having a great week. A lot of stuff they showcase. Some stuff's already at Sideshow for pre-order. Some stuff it's gonna come on pre-order very soon, but there's very, very cool. Always Hot Toys really surprises with the figures they have. They know what the collectors want. They really know what collectors are looking for, and they deliver on those things. So they have a lot of cool stuff this week. I'm gonna cover that today. A lot of great figures. And on the statue side, we're gonna cover Iron Studios. There's a couple of things that were showcased before. They have for different presentations in Brazil, but now they're available at Sideshow through Sideshow Con. They have it, but you have to kind of sign up with Sideshow so in order to get them. So look at that. We're gonna look at some of those statues that are now available for sale at Sideshow from Iron Studios, especially for the event of the Sideshow Con and also San Diego Comic Con. Now, we're going to cover a couple of the statues, Bishoujo statues that were released by Kotobukiya. Also, there's an ArtFx statue that was released for the Bad Batch. We're going to look at it very quickly. And we're going to look at Infinite Studio. This company is from Italy. I've talked about it before in the channel, but they also release really interesting looking statues. We're going to look at Infinite Studio. We're going to look at Oniri Creations. They also released a 1/6 scale statue. If you're a Bleach fan, then definitely going to look at that. PCS, they released a Mega Man X statue, quarter scale. Very interesting, very cool looking. We're going to look at it today. XM Studios releasing the Thing, quarter scale. People are super pumped for this one. Very excited for it. Definitely, XM Studios always delivers on the stuff they're doing, and they have a lot of stuff that is coming. Hey, how you doing, Eddie? I'm going to look at Prime 1 Studio, the Resident Evil Jill Valentine and Nemesis quarter scale statue, looking amazing. Amazing diorama again from Prime 1 Studio. We're going to look at AzureSea Studio. They releasing a Transformers SixShot premium scale statue. Amazing looking statue. And ultimately, at the end of the video, we're going to go into Sideshow. We're going to look at Sideshow Con, the pros and the cons, the good things about it so far, the things that I'm disappointed about the con. And definitely, we're going to go on detail with all of it. We're going to go try to dissect some of the stuff that definitely has created some backlash for Sideshow. Some of the things that are truly disappointing from Sideshow. And some of the things that we can kind of salvage from the presentation. So we're going to look at this stuff today. But I want to say to all of you, welcome very much. Oh, thank you, Eddie. I look forward always having this Fridays. I'm always tired. I gotta be honest. I'm so tired, you know, because after a long week of work, all that, I'm dragging my feet. But once I sit in this chair and I start talking to all of you, it's like, man, I feel like energized. I love to talk about collectibles. You know, it's always cool to talk about this amazing product. So we're gonna try to cover as much ground as possible. Of course, you know, we cannot cover it all, but we're gonna try our best here. So okay, so first we're gonna go to Mondo. I want to start with the figures as always we do, and I'm gonna take you there. We here at Mondo tees the She-Ra 1/6 scale figure, and I gotta be honest, this is a 40-hour. The previous He-Man was a 24-hour window, and I pre-ordered on the spot. As soon as he went on pre-order, I was pre-ordering it. This one, it was a 48-hour window until Thursday, and I I gotta be honest with you. I debated on this one. I wanted to do it, and ultimately, I didn't do it. Just to be honest with you, I thought about it. You know, this is the thing. One thing I will tell you about I love the fact that they're now doing the window. They got the time release. So as they did with He-Man, they only give it 24 hours. So whoever pre-order, because that's always been the problem with Mondo. Every time they had something on pre-order, like with their art prints and stuff, they sell out quickly because they only have a limited number. And when they have the limited number, they sell out. Of course, there's people out there, all the all the people that they go and flip stuff. You know, they use bots, they use, you know, programs, so they can buy as many as possible through different fake accounts, and they can get it. So definitely you see all the flippers out there. So you know, a lot of people have a bad experience with Mondo for that. So now that they changed that with the figure where technically they give you a time, whoever pre-order is going to get one. That was perfect, and I love He-Man. I think it was it's a perfect figure. I'm excited for that one. When it gets next year, I'll review it. And when She-Ra was announced, like not even a week later, were actually at the end of this He-Man, they were ready to do She-Ra. And I gotta be honest with you, I feel like, man, it's so soon, you know, like I just pay for this one and I have other things from pre-order and I have things to take care of, you know, and I was like, there are a couple of things that are coming my way. So like, I think Mondo needs to slow down a little bit before they decide to go with another pre-order, because you already took $260 from me and now $250. So I was debating, I do it, I don't do it. There's a couple of things with the figure where I wasn't totally keen, you know, like the figure looks nice, you know, like you could even do the payment plan that they were offering. You know, the artists involved here, we're gonna look at that. Then I could keep telling you how I feel about the figure, but the artists, we got Emiliano Santalucia, Florian Bertmer, Gabe Chicoin, Hector Arce, Maranchetta, Tim Hansen, okay, Tomac Rosic Jowski, Tommy Hodge. So these are the people that they were involved in the process. So, you know, when I look at the figure, I will tell you, I love the figure. I wasn't totally keen or impressed with the portrait. I feel that with the He-Man has different portraits, and I feel that the portrait of He-Man was perfect. With this one, I'm not so sure, because like, let me show you this. Let me go back. I'll tell you the thing that I was debating, and I think the figure looks good, but I just felt that with He-Man, I feel that there was more. Like, I love that angry face, and then you have, of course, the more serious face, the portrait, and then you have the one that is a classic from the toy line. To me, that was like it gives you two different ways to portray, you know, the portrait. It's different. So I was like, man, I like that. I like that they're doing that. And of course, you get all these extras, which is amazing. I found those extras more enticing. Now, when looking at She-Ra, you know, I don't know. I was a little bit like on the first, I was not necessarily happy because, of course, it's so soon. You know, like I don't have the money. I'm not rich, so I kind of just keep buying things and takes it back and forth. You know, I just don't want to do that. Even though I feel that it was good, I feel that it was just one portrait where she's so serious. There's nothing else besides that portrait. I feel that they could have just give you an extra portrait. That would have been nice. Of course, she has all the extras. Some people complain about that. Of course, the skirt is made out of plastic instead of just being some type of material. I'm okay with the material in there. I understand why some people would like to have a you know, material, because in that case it's easier to you know, like if you want to do you know, different poses, it's gonna be more restrictive to do any poses with her like that. I think it was fine. So I was debating with it, and I feel that you know, the figure was growing on me. So in the last day, which was yesterday, I was debating at work, thinking about it, but I was so busy at work that I didn't get a chance. So by the time I thought, hey, you know what, do it now before you regret it. You know, it's better just to feel, you know, better to ask forgiveness than permission. So I said, you know, let's just do it. But when I went to the website, it was already like a few minutes late, and it was sold out. It was probably like 15, 20, 30 minutes late. I just skipped my mind because I got busy. I got caught up with doing stuff. So I didn't get a chance to pre-order. So now I'm probably going to have to wait. If it shows up on the aftermarket, of course, I'll get the special edition. But I'm sure they will have other editions at some point. A regular version, because that's what Mondo does. Comes with a regular version. It's going to have less things, but you know, I'll go for it. You know, I still feel that, you know, they could have done something else with it, in the sense with a different portrait. That it would be my thing. The portrait seems fine. I think the scale is perfect. It's a 1/6 scale. I think it looks beautiful. Kind of regret not having it, but yeah, it was. In the second thoughts, first because they just released it so soon, and second because I felt like, okay, I'm not so crazy about the portrait. It looks pretty, but not necessarily what I'm envisioning. I would love to have some switch outs with this one, so it's easier to pose that she's just serious. Like, she looks bored, in my opinion. The face looks bored. It looks pretty, but bored. And there's no expression, you know, beyond that. And yeah, you can change the hair, you know, with the bangs and stuff like that, but that's about it, you know, like, that's it. I feel that the He-Man had a lot much better. This here, the portrait looks good. I just feel that they could have done something with expression with her mouth, maybe a smile, with smirk, maybe like, I don't know, like she's screaming or something, and more like a battle pose or something. I don't know. That's it, because with He-Man they did it. So, you know, that's perhaps the only regret, you know, but at least, you know, there's something else. I feel that Mondo is still engaged with this collection. They're still interested on bringing this stuff, and to me that's important, you know, like at least Mondo's doing something that that, you know, they continue with a collection. I feel that this has been the collection that they've been more consistent with since they started with the figures. I remember when they started 1/6 scale figures with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they only produced the turtles. That's it. They didn't produce anything else, and they stopped, you know. And I feel with the this case with Masters of the Universe being more constant, consistent, now they kind of redoing the He-Man as a 2.0, and they, you know, they promised that. And also there's a, what is that, a Battle Cat that is, you know, was showcased as a prototype of like 2 years ago at the Comic-Con. So the options are there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But you know, only time can tell. Only time can tell for sure. All right, my friends. Now let's move on. Now that we moved from Mondo, I want to go to Threezero, and for that I'm gonna come to Sideshow. So, all right, we are here at Sideshow, of course. Sideshow Con, they have special sales, big savings of the summer, a lot of Superman stuff, a lot of stuff that it's been sitting there forever. They're gonna give it a discount. That's what they do, and they give it like a couple coupons and whatever, you know. That's what they do. But the reason we are here, I want to talk about, we're gonna cover not everything. There's a lot of things that companies are releasing. Like Mayhouse releasing a lot of figures and stuff, a lot of small figurines and for hefty prices, but we're not gonna cover all of that. Also, this Spider-Man also is very expensive. It looks cool though. But I'm gonna talk about Threezero. I'm gonna convert to Threezero here on the list here. Here's figures. Looking at the newest figures. So they got the Deluxe Iron Man Mark 43 Battle Damage. This is a special that they're doing also, I think, with the Sideshow. But I want to cover these three pieces. Also, this one, Bumblebee, this is a gold edition. This is a very small figure, and this is part of the Sideshow Con. They're also showcasing that. If you want to order that, it's very tiny. It's not big. But I want to cover these pieces right here. I want to start first with Sandor the Hound. This is for if you're a fan, of course, of the Game of Thrones. Then you have this figure, $199, going to release between December of this year and February of next year. And really looking good. You know, the stuff that comes as part of Season 7. Threezero definitely delivering on these figures and this collection. They have done pretty well so far with the figures. And people are really liking these figures. I'm not really a Game of Thrones fan, to be honest. I'm not, never been. But definitely I can praise Threezero for really still producing these characters, definitely being consistent with it. The parka that is pretty cool. Definitely look at and another thing that Threezero does is the scale of these figures is really excellent. So definitely you can do all sort of things for fans of the show, for fans of these figures. Definitely that is a big plus. So look at that with the axe, all of that. It looks really cool. So this is a figure that they released. Also, and looking into the 1/6, I want to talk about Lucas Sinclair. This is of course part of the Stranger Things, and I just finished watching season 4, not last week or the week before. I think last week. You know, I haven't been reviewing shows and stuff, but I watch it. I enjoy it. It started kind of at the beginning a little bit, felt like it was a bit slow for me. But then it started picking up pace and definitely was good. Of course, the kids are grown, but they've been releasing these figures, and of course now they got Lucas, and it looks pretty cool. If you're like, you know, really into Stranger Things and you like these figures, definitely they're excellent. I think they did a fantastic job with the likeness. Definitely, if they can continue on with the different seasons on this, definitely they can milk it. It looks pretty good. Very nice figure. I like this kid in the show, and definitely has an important part also in the now season 4. So each kit is really good. But you know, for those who aren't familiar with this collection or what Threezero has been doing, you can see other figures here. For example, they have Dustin. That's another one too. And here, let me look at the scale just for reference on the size. It's 9.5 inches, which is not tall. Keep in mind, it's a true 1/6. It's a 1/6 scale. So, and these are children, so definitely they're not big. But it comes with all the accessories. I think it's pretty cool. Some of the face look a little washed out and a little bit more plasticky in some parts, but I think it's not bad at all. You have to wait until, of course, to see the final product. But they did a fantastic job with the little parts. They really look good. And even got the Pringles right there. So they had all these little details, and look at that little creature that he found. And of course 11 right there, also part of it. Here you have 11. I think these are the 3 that they have released so far, plus looks pretty good. Of course, when you watch the most recent season, of course she's looks a lot older, because she's grown now. So looking at some of these are cool, but I wish Hot Toys will pick up the season 4 license. Yeah, that would be good. You know, the thing with Hot Toys is that they're have so much stuff. But yeah, I will tell you, yes, you know, if Hot Toys will pick this up, it will be like the likeness will be a lot better. Even if Blizzway does it, or another J&D Studios, which that would be expensive if J&D Studios does it. But I think there's a lot of competition right now with these companies, a lot of figures. So there's a lot of newcomers. Intervey is always there. All these companies have been doing figures, and but yeah, I think the potential with Threezero, and you know, Threezero makes some really good figures for sure. There's a lot of potential. Even have the waffle right there. That is really cool. But I think there's another one right here, the Demogorgon, which is also $249. That has a bigger scale, and definitely that you can create some really nice display. Besides that, I would say that the only other thing that you can collect from Stranger Things would be the NECA figures, which are smaller. Those NECA figures are awesome too. But if you're strictly a 1/6 scale collector, then definitely you can look into Threezero. The potential is there. Now, with Hot Toys would do it at some point. Very likely, it's possible, but only time can tell. I think Threezero jump into the collection first, and because they jumped into it first, they may have some license agreement with the company that they will be producing this stuff. So we'll see how Threezero does. You know, because with companies, it's always kind of funky the way they do certain things. They when you get a license, technically you get a license to be the exclusive producer of a particular scale in a particular zone. Now, Threezero, I don't know where exactly they have the license, but they've been distributed by Sideshow, and definitely there's a connection there. So it's a conflict of interest, because at the same time, Sideshow also distributes for Hot Toys. So maybe Hot Toys gets the license, but they will not be able, because they're already selling the same product from Threezero. That can create some conflict, so they might not sell it, you know. But you never know. Hot Toys might be able to pull the license for Asia, for example, or you know, like many of these companies in Asia, they only have a particular license for their region, for Southeast Asia, places like that. So, you know, and you know, that's the only way that you can import certain things from other countries. So that's the way they all battle with. But you know, the possibility is there. Now I'm just getting thirsty and barely can talk. But yeah, it's there. I think if Hot Toys grabs this license, they will do a much better job than Threezero, for sure. But only time can tell. So far, I think Threezero does a good job with these figures, and we'll see how that goes if they continue with the license. All right, my friends. So we move from Threezero, but before we move, let me look at some of the comments here. So far, so good. Let me drink some water because I'm thirsty. Thank you. And I want to say again, my friends, if you're liking the content here, don't forget to leave a like. If you're watching, if you're interested on the channel, you love the channel, the content of the channel, just leave a like. that helps me a lot. That helps the algorithm to understand that people care about this content of my contents of my video, and the recommendation is out there. So thank you. Don't forget to leave the like. Also, to subscribe to the channel if you're watching this for the first time and you just show up here, you appear here and you'll start liking what I'm saying, even though you might not like my mug, but you like what I'm saying, then please follow me, subscribe to the channel. All right, my friends, let's move on. I want to move on to a company, and we're going back to, well, we're still in Sideshow. I want to talk about Damtoys. I talk about this company. Let me go back. Well, last week I was supposed to talk about him, but for some reason I skip it. You know, I got so distracted talking to you. Like, I love talking to you, so I get distracted. I didn't pay attention. I wasn't paying attention, so I skip it. I was tired too, so my bad. It's my fault. I own it. But this company is another company that has been producing figures. They're known for that, and they produce some heck of good figures. I'll tell you. Let me see if we can find it here, and everything that is added right there. We have one clear Redfield. These are more they're pricier than Threezero for sure. There's two different versions. You got a classic version, and you have the collector's edition, which is a different version. There's different figures, but first let me come here to this part, this section. And here you have Damtoys, all the figures they have. And definitely they produce excellent figures. Of course, you got Vito Corleone. If you love The Godfather, definitely interesting figure. Let's look at the newest figures here. So here you go. They have the 3 new pre-orders they have. Now, this one did not go on pre-order this week. Well, they came on pre-order this week. Claire Redfield, this one came this week. But it was, these two were already out last week. And those are the 2 that I skipped. Now, let's look at Leon. Leon looks really good. You have the classic version, and you got the collector's edition, which is this is the thing, they call it collector's edition, but it's just no more than just the regular version. That's what they call it. Collector's edition is just a regular version. That's what Sideshow does. So it's $270 for a regular version, has less things, but if you go for a classic version, you get some extras with it, which is always good. So on the list here, let's see what it comes. And the custom, you got the RPD uniform shirt, classic police version. You also get the classic police version of the uniform pants, which is the whole thing. Uniform belt. I don't know what they have to add. You know, it has the whole, you know, the outfit as we see him in the game. 1 pair of elbow pads, 1 pair of knee pads, 1 pair of boots, radio pouch, drop holster. On the weapons, this is the part that has the more accessories, as the Matilda handgun, detachable custom parts. So it has the submachine gun, hand grenades, combat knife. They have a shotgun. It comes with a first aid spray, handgun ammo, figure stand. So it comes with all the things, flashlight. So it comes with a lot of things. I think it's excellent for the price. So it's comparable to what Hot Toys does with pricing. So to me, like, you know, I will tell you, I'm not a big Resident Evil fan. My brother is. I'm not. But he loves horror. I've never been like a horror person per se. But I will tell you, the figure is pretty cool looking. With the figure, they did a really fantastic job with it, with the likeness, of course, based on the game. Looks really, really good. It has the flashlight. You can do all these poses. I think it's an excellent figure. Here you can see with the submachine gun, with the rifle. That's a pretty good job with it. Look at that bazooka too. It's a nice figure. I really like what they're doing with it. So I'm checking here, making sure that all is good. But you can see the holster, the handguns, the cartridge. It's a lot of attention to detail. I love the way this case the handgun looks. This shotgun looks really good with the shells. It comes with a lot of weapons, man. I love the extra weapons and the knives and everything, and the keys and all that stuff. Yeah, you're a big fan of Resident Evil, and if I'm not mistaken, I think also the eyes are movable. You can actually position the eyes, if I'm not mistaken. Might be wrong, but I think I heard that you can do it. So that is a pretty cool figure. I will say this is a really an excellent figure. You know, they did a fantastic job with it. Now, this is the one that really caught controversy last week. That was this Claire Redfield classic version. And you got the collector's edition, which is the regular one, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, is the same. You have the classic version. Look at the classic version of this one right here. I think they have all the pictures messed up. So this is the one. People, what didn't like about this classic one was the knee articulation. That looks terrible. And people were voicing their opinion saying that is the most horrible, because the figure looks good. The face, the portrait, people don't like the elbows, but I can live with the elbows because of what you need to do with the figure. I just don't like the way that the elbows, and I understand they're trying to do, but a lot of figures that are coming up with this type of articulation, it just makes no sense. It's better to have the seamless articulation that is underneath the leg. So technically use kind of like a silicone legs, and the articulation is inside, although those are sometimes prone to break, you know, people don't like because of that. But even Barbie dolls back in the day were able to articulate like that. If you know Barbie dolls, like Barbie dolls can do it, so why not a 1/6 scale figure you're paying top dollar? So people were not really happy, but I'm telling you, the outfit, everything is good when the figure, except those ugly articulation. Not only that, because it's when you have to articulate the knees and stuff, when you see those lines, people don't like it. I understand the elbows, I can deal with that, but with those on the knees, it's the same problem that the NECA figures had when the April O'Neil, based on the films, the NECA had figures, they come out with the same articulation. People were just not happy with that figure just recently, and there was a lot of criticism because of it. Although the figure was pretty, it's just the articulation was not fun. However, and the reason why I want to point this out, what I think is good, I'm going to take you to hey, how you doing? Edwin, how are you, sir? Welcome. But here, if you come to Facebook. So, Damtoys, after all the backlash and people being critical about it, they decide to do something, which is always good when companies are paying attention. And they say, you know what? Let's try to do something different. So, they have all the figures here, like the Gangster Kingdom Diamond 7 Derek. It's not in Sideshow yet, but whenever it gets there, we'll talk about it. So, they have these figures. But what they did here, Resident Evil Clarifield version, every order will receive a bonus accessory with this item, an additional pair of swappable fixed knee leg parts consistent with the original body with movable hips and ankle joints, because technically when they did the prototype originally, it was supposed to be, you know, like that. But what the company decided to do is like change it to give you this besides the other legs. So technically you have two different legs. You have this one if you want to keep it, but if you want to say, you know what, we don't want it, then you can swap it for this other legs, so you don't have that joint. To me, that's great, and that looks a lot better. So Damtoys said, you know what, we're not going to we're going to give the customers what they want. So they went right away and they created this, and in my opinion, that's the best solution to the whole problem. Now the figure is going to look good, and you can stand it in a way that actually is going to look more natural than that ugly lines underneath. So, which, you know, it's still, you know, I can deal with that, you know, but at the same time, I feel that this was a great thing, that the company listened to the criticism and they say, you know what, we're gonna give you what you want. And I feel that in the end, that's what the company should do. I love these figures when they do this military stuff. Oh my gosh, they are great with it, with the elite soldiers, the Spetsnaz unit. If you're really into a modern warfare, you're gonna love this stuff. So they went out and they said, you know what, let's do it. And I think that that's great. I think a company that listens to the fans always should be applauded for that. The Harley Quinn from Hot Toys, same issue. Yeah, it's the same thing, you know, like I don't like it, but the great thing about them is that they decide to make a change, and I think they did it good. So if you order even through Sideshow, even though they didn't add the picture here, they're saying that all the orders are gonna come with the extra legs as a, you know, with the whole package, so you're gonna get that as well. So I think that's the best solution, great solution to the whole problem. So that way you have, you know, whatever you swap them if you want to, because technically you're gonna be sending this character no matter what. Now this is the other version. This is the other one right here. You know, you have the classic version is the one you saw, but you also have the in this case the the other version with the pants, and I think this also looks amazing. I love the pants, and ultimately I was thinking this would be better, but I think the classic looks good. They looks great with the pants, of course, the jeans and the jacket. I think they did a fantastic job with this figure. The face looked good. I think the sculpt is really well done. Great detail. So I think with Damtoys, after what they did, when they pulled that out, I said, you know what, that's great. You know, like, companies should be doing that. They should be listening to their fans and acting accordingly. The thing went on pre-order just a week, and within that week, they already had an answer to people's complaints. So I feel that that's what companies should do. Even Hot Toys sometimes does. Hot Toys, you know, it's a great company, but they don't do it. You know, they just don't do it. They're so big that they just simply forget about it. You know, they're not gonna worry about it. But here you can see, of course, some people, the funny thing is that even in the comments, people, after the fix was done for the knees, they were complaining about the joints on the arms. And I'm like, you know, you got something. You know, at least you got something. And I feel that I can deal with those joints in the arms. You can deal with it. I'm okay with that. And the legs is a bit different. Of course, you don't see it when you have the pants. The pants is fine. But when the character has shorts, and definitely it's more noticeable, and it doesn't look that great. I definitely love the pleather they use for the jacket. I think the custom there is really well done. And look at that handgun, the revolvers, really cool, different guns, and definitely I love the ammo boxes they have too for detail. It's great detail. The shotgun, well, actually no, not a shotgun. That is I forgot what it called this, but yeah, it's a shotgun. But you look at the knives and the keys, so it's good, and all the different hands. So definitely I would say kudos to Damtoys for doing a damn job. I want to say that expression because that's what you need to do. Yeah, they look really good, and I gotta be honest, I gotta give him credit for listening and for, you know, giving a figure. And not only that, the figures, this is the difference between them and Threezero. I love Threezero, I love the figures, but Threezero doesn't give you enough accessories. And even sometimes, you know, Hot Toys, it skips on the accessories, but I think with them, with Damtoys, they like, you know, we're gonna give you a lot for your money. You're paying the same amount for what you're buying for a Hot Toys, and some Hot Toys don't come with much. So they're giving you all these little extra things and weapons and that to me, that's amazing, because that changes everything. You can display this in so many different ways, and definitely the accessories are the best. I think that's the icing on the cake on this figure. So it's just the amount of accessories that you're getting. Yes, you can go on the aftermarket, you can go on eBay and buy accessories and all of that. People do it all the time, but you know, if you're buying already the figure, what, you know, you want to have everything that you need in order to display that figure, and I think Damtoys did a damn job on that one for sure. So kudos to them for that. All right, my friends, let's go. I want to come to again to Sideshow, but I want to talk about Hot Toys. Hot Toys definitely has been in conversations this week. They've been doing really good, I will tell you. I think a lot of great figures that they showcase on some figures that have showcased with Sideshow Con, of course, but also other figures they're showcasing in their presentation site. What is that, Hot Toy Celebration or something like that? I don't forget how they call it, but in Asia. So this week they were releasing a lot of information. We're gonna cover some of the stuff here that is available here, but also I will take the time to take you to I forgot to talk about this figure. We're gonna come back to this figure in a moment. After Hot Toys, I'll talk about this one because I skipped this one. Again, I was so distracted and I passed it. We're gonna talk about Optimus Prime from Threezero. But in any case, I'm coming here and let me look at Hot Toys. If I find a Hot Toys, then we'll get there. Right there. This is one that is there. People love this one, but I'm gonna go to their special section so we can look at everything that was released this week. And we're gonna also go to Facebook because all right there. There's a lot of things that came out this week. I will tell you the first one, Boba Fett Arena Suit, already on the wait list. This figure is already on the wait list. People are in love with this one. I've seen some reviews. People love this figure. And you might be able to order it through a different means or another place. And I will tell you, it's a great figure for Boba Fett. This is Arena Suit. This is part of the Comic Master P series, the War of the Bounty Hunters. So people are calling this one of the best Boba Fett figures. However, for me, you know, it's a nice figure, no doubt about it, but I prefer the more classic look from the film. So yeah, it's a nice figure for those who love it. Definitely, I think it's the articulation where everybody's loving this one. This was a Toy Fair exclusive, but of course now it's available. It was through Sideshow. They had this special there. It sold out, yes, like that, you know, it's on the wait list. It looks really good. You know, it's a nice figure. Like, you know, it's not all black, but it's kind of like a dark color, metallic black in some way. It's a really cool figure, and I think this is more for the ones that they love to have everything, you know. And I saw a review today, I think this morning, where parts of that review, and the person that was reviewing it, he was calling it, you know, one of the best, probably the best Boba Fett figure that Hot Toys has released. Definitely, maybe because of the modern tooling and all the stuff they use now with the articulation, all that is better, but if it was classic, it will be definitely one that I would get. It looks good. So that was one figure that was released. Again, $255 when it came out. On the wait list, you can join the wait list, or you can go through another route to another distributors from Asia, and you can get it from them. Now, you had also another special that came out with, in this case, with the event, with the Sideshow Con. And you're looking at Iron Man Mark. What is that? I forgot the numbers. Yeah, I forgot. You know, the Roman numbers. Remind me because I totally forgot. But this is the holographic version. It looks pretty cool. I don't remember, man. I'm telling you now. I'm and I used to remember all this back in school. Roman numbers. I remember. Sorry if I forgot. Maybe it's on the details here. No, it's not gonna say Iron Mark. Oh, this is from the Avengers Endgame. Okay, so is that that would be like? I have a problem. Well, you reminded me. I don't know. My phone is not really working here for some reason. It's been giving me a hard time. Maybe I need to yeah, hold on. Let me take this off. You know how it is with phones sometimes. In any case, it's a $410. It's a holographic version. Oh, okay. Mark 85. Yeah, because the L... Okay, I got it. I remember the L represents 50 and the X represents 10. So 3 10s, that's 85 because V is 5. So that makes sense. Now I remember. I remember like all this we got to learn back in school. Now I'm back in school. In any case, this is releasing soon. That was part of the event from Avengers Endgame. That's another Toy Fair exclusive. That's just an exclusive. Not necessarily a must in my opinion. It's expensive. I'd rather have the regular colors, but for those who are fans of having it all, and you know there's a lot of Hot Toys fans out there that want to have it all, particularly special edition stuff, so definitely they're going for this one. It looks cool, you know, it's just definitely the same design. I just prefer the original. Now, I will tell you, the material, I'm not so sure. I think being made out of plastic can be a problem for some people. I like when there's some die-cast elements to it, but Hot Toys has been kind of skipping on that lately. It has over 30 points of articulation. Materials, it doesn't say, but I definitely, very likely it's going to be a lot of plastic there. It looks cool, though, you know, and that's, for many years, Iron Man was the bread and butter of Hot Toys. They survived by selling Iron Man figures, and definitely they still do it. They still do it, and they sell well because there are Iron Man collectors out there. They love every version of Iron Man, and they're going to collect it. So that is a great option. But I think one of the biggest surprises for me, let me look at some of the notes. This okay, there's nothing going on. I think the biggest surprise for me was it was Obi-Wan Kenobi. As I mentioned, I love the show. Not necessarily the show, but I love the final season. Oh, the final episode of the season. I think that was the best. And this represents definitely a great scene, a battle scene. You know, maybe I give you spoilers here between him and Darth Vader. Sorry if I'm giving you spoilers. But I think with the rocks and everything, phenomenal scene. And I love the portrait. This is what Hot Toys is better than everybody else, is on the portraits. The only other company that can do the same amount of good quality on the portrait, I will say, You can say Blissway. Blissway is on par with Hot Toys. You can say J&D Studios. Definitely they're doing amazing stuff with those portraits and all of that. Some companies are doing amazing, but we go back to Hot Toys. I think Hot Toys is still in a good place with those portraits. And this is the special edition, of course, comes with everything. The collector's edition, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think they're technically both the same price. And let me see what's the difference. Well, in any case, let's look at the stuff here. Okay, right here on the bottom says Sideshow exclusive, which is the special edition. Comes with one box. What kind of box is this? One Anakin lightsaber hilt and one wrapping cloth. Oh, okay, so it comes with some extra. So you go for that one. It's the same price. But I think it's an excellent piece. Definitely the detail is there. You can pose it in these different ways. I like the figure. I think the portrait is amazing. They did a fantastic job with it. I really like it. Definitely you can see the actor and the likeness there. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it's like 98%. It is really cool looking. They did a really nice job with this one. Definitely, this is where, again, Hot Toys shines. Is on the way they do these figures. Look amazing with that sword. A rolling eyeball function. That is something that I love that they're doing now. Oh, this is the box that comes. This is bonus when Anakin lightsaber hilt. So you have the little box. Okay, I see now what they meant. It looks cool, and then it comes with all these little parts, everything that is gonna come with it. I think they did a fantastic job with this one for sure. All right, so definitely that's good. Now, this is amazing. Love that so far from all the figures. Definitely I love what they're doing in Hot Toys. But I can come to in this case we're gonna come to Facebook, so I can show you what they have here on Facebook. And on Facebook, of course, the other things that they're showcasing, and I'm sure they come out on pre-order very, very soon. And I'm gonna talk about this one, for example, the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man right here. And a lot of people are loving this figure, the Andrew Garfield figure. I think they did a fantastic job with this one for sure. I think it looks amazing. Of course, based on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that's how they selling it, but also in some way because of the has the portrait and all that. In some ways linked to the most recent film, No Way Home. And I think it's a fantastic job. There's a lot of Garfield fans out there, and I think this figure is gonna do really, really well. Now with the figure, the likeness. It has a big nose, but I never noticed the actor having such a big nose. But I think the likeness is really good. It's not 100%, but I would say 96%, 95% is to be fair. I think it's pretty up there. And they're definitely very poseable. Love that. Excellent figure. Interchangeable, of course, the portraits with the mask. So you can do all sort of things with it. I think it's a great figure that you can do a lot of things with. Very, very cool for this one. Love the whole detail here. Love the whole detail. Now, there's another thing that also they're selling, and some people were complaining. I saw on some, I think, Let Your Geek Sideshow. But if you come to that page, you know that everybody's gonna complain because it's full of people complaining about everything. But in any case, what they showcased there. They were complaining about this. They were complaining about this figure because this figure also, they decided to create a diorama base for it that you can buy separate. It's the Lizard 1/6 scale diorama base. If you want to just set up the Spider-Man with in this case with the Lizard, you can do it. And it's just as a base, not as a character, but as a base. I think it's an interesting take. Some people say, well, why you couldn't just simply sell all together as a package, as a deluxe? And I totally understand that approach. Yeah, I understand if you want to buy them. But at the same time, I don't think they wanted to go too crazy with the price, because if you have to add up those two things, then it's going to be pricey. At the end of the day, you're going to end up paying more. And it's all about money. It's all about the way they license stuff. Some people, they want to buy the figure, like just by itself. They don't care about the Lizard. But if you want as an option, I think that's something that Hot Toys is trying to see how that work out. To me, it's fine. it's another thing, another way to make money, and I think it's a very smart way to make money. And hopefully, actually, how do we start producing more of those bases, or doing more stuff that, you know, because that's something that they don't do as much. Sometimes you had to go to another producers to produce anything in order to do displays and stuff like that. But that is something very cool to try, and definitely these pictures kind of sell it really well. So some people, I'm sure, are gonna go for it. And here you can see it has that display, so you can actually do a lot of different poses. So that's great. Definitely they did a good job with this one. So that is an option here. Now another thing that I want to showcase here while we're here, I want to talk about Wolverine, man, because Wolverine is Wolverine. And I will tell you, this is another figure. This is based on the Days of the Future Past. This is, they call it the 1973 version. And before we get that, let me make sure that I'm reading at your comments. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with it. Yes, I would consider it if it wasn't plastic. Okay. And looking at the stuff here, I do like this figure, man. I think they did a fantastic job with the likeness with the actor. It's just amazing. The portrait, it's really, really good. The only thing I would love for this one is to have interchangeable, you know, blades, the claws, to have metallic claws. That would be awesome. But of course, in that film, you know, X-Men Days of Future Past, he doesn't have those claws. He has just a regular bone claws, instead of just metallic claws, the adamantium and all that. But in any case, I love even the base. This is super, super cool. I'm telling you, this figure is going to sell well as this. It's going to do really, really well. I think the likeness is so good. I love what they did even with the hair. I think it's excellent. It's an excellent, excellent piece. And I love the likeness. Definitely even the grass that they added on the base. That is super cool. That's part of this special edition. You got this Sentinel forearm. So you got all these things that you can display. And it looks good. Even the pants look great. You know, they did a fantastic job with that. And you can come up with so many great displays. Even the arms. I love the arms. The detail in the arms. Fantastic figure. Even with the belt. That is super, super cool. They did a really good job with this figure for sure. Man, even the poses are killer right here. Excellent figure. Very liking this one for sure. Definitely, I'm definitely thinking about getting this one. I even love this shirt. Fantastic job with this figure. I think this is perhaps my favorite figure of all the one that had been showcased this week. This is definitely the one that I feel like right away, this is it. You know, this is a figure that definitely I need to add to my collection. But in any case, it's not the only thing that was showcased this week, you know, through Hot Toys, you know, of course, because there were some presentations. They were in Asia, so they have the, you know, the stuff with a lot of stuff that they produce here. And this beautiful girl, we're showcasing all the stuff in this store. And I don't know if we can see that there. I think that was it. There was nothing else to showcase there. Alrighty then. Oh, I want to put see all. That's what I want. Let's see if we can see some other stuff that was showcased there. Of course, they were showcasing other things with the newest Star Wars stuff that is on pre-order. Definitely, they do an amazing job with that. All the figures from the in this case, the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, and always surprising. Also, Vulture looking amazing there too. Really huge with the span of those wings. So they were really showcasing a lot of cool stuff. And the Summer Showcase, that's what they call it. Hot Toys Summer Showcase 2022. The stuff, also the small stuff. Also, they were showcasing some, and maybe we can get to that place. Big, or is that the big planes? Is where, in this case, let me see if we can get there. Right there. This was something that was showcased there. But this is a smaller version. Look at this presentation here. You have the different new figures that were released. Really looking cool. Man, I'm liking these figures. Of course, we talked about last week of Neo. And we have seen this figure, so we have talked about him previously. So definitely, man, I'm telling you, Hot Toys is just, man, on a roll when it comes about doing what they need to do to keep people engaged. I don't care about these little figures for sure, but that's something that another market that they've been pursuing, and it seems that it's been very popular for them. Oh, so there's nothing else. That kind of sucks. Right there, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, this one right here. They have the Batmobile. DC Comics present the Batwing. I'm sorry, Batwing. And this is a very, you know, there was some people were saying, well, man, this, if the Batwing this, they were saying that even, what is that? The competitor, that the one that is a Batwing that done by, what is it? Jazz Sync dioramas. They were saying like, man, this is going to hit hard on Jazz Sync. But Jazz Sync says, you know, like even said it very clearly in his Facebook, and I'll take you to that place. Jazz Sync says, you know, knowing Hot Toys, first and foremost, Hot Toys always showcases these things, and they never releases big things. You know, we're still waiting for the stuff that they, what was that? The cockpit of the Millennium Falcon that they showcased years ago, and a lot of things they showcase, a lot of stuff they never release it. And they discontinue. They did that with the Batmobile recently too. That's what Jazz Sync had to take that into consideration, and he's the one that's producing it now. Jazz Sync is, when you talk about 1/6 scale vehicles, Jazz Sync is untouchable. So I will tell you that, yes, it's nice that they're presenting this, but this is not even a 1/6 scale. They make it smaller, so it's more like a 1/12 scale. So this is not touching at all. This is not going to release. This is not going to release no matter what. It's kind of cool. But if you want the real deal, then you got to go to Jazz Sync. And I'm going to take you to Jazz Sync in just a moment, just to kind of give you an idea for those who aren't familiar with Jazz Sync. And I have talked about it here. Also, they released this one, but this is not a 1/6 scale figure. This is smaller than 1/6. And it's kind of nice display, all of that, but are they going to release it? That is the question. And you know, this is one thing. Hot Toys, every year and every presentation, they present a vehicle, and they a diorama. They do showcase something very nice, stuff that they never release for pre-order. So you know, don't get your hopes up with this one for sure. It's more like likely that Jazz Sync is going to do this before anybody else do it. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take you to Jazz Sync and this Jazz Sync dioramas group, because he said it, you know, which to me is like, okay, if he said it, he said it. You know, I'm giving Jazz Sync the benefit of the doubt. You know, I trust this guy. He is the guy that if you want something done, he gets it done. Like, for example, right here, I'll tell you, see, I've been getting a lot of messages from everyone about the Hot Toys 1989 Batwing announcement. I really appreciate the sentiment, and I'm honored that they are threatened by me, but a few things to note. First of all, their offering is only a 1/12 scale. And secondly, the prototype and paint job looks very flat and plasticky, not accurate to the actual movie prop, with airbrushing and some depth and fading in the black paint. Also, the hinge canopy is incorrect. Finally, I noticed that there was nothing on display from the 2022 Batmobile they teased in February. So again, we have to see if they're even actually planning to bring any of this to market. In short, let them come. This is my territory. This large size, large complexity, low production number products is my specialty, not theirs. I'm telling you, this is the Hot Toys here right here. That's what they showcase, a 1/12 version. And this is the original we're talking about, the Jazz Sync version, which is an actual 1/12. I'm sorry, 1/6. So I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, we seen the look at that. That's a tiny little thing. That is a 1/12 scale, and which is fine if you're a 1/12 collector. But again, are they going to release it? Look at comparing a Neo right there in the background. That's Neo. That's a 1/6 scale. Neo is really big in comparison to that. So you know that's small. Will they release it? Who knows? But when it comes about 1/6 scale, don't believe what you see, because it's something that Hot Toys has done in the past. They showcase these beautiful things, but if you want the real deal, the real, you know, diorama stuff, presentation, anything that goes along with your Hot Toys, with your 1/6 scale stuff, then come to this guy. He is your guy. He's the guy that is going to really take care of it. That's just bottom line. That's just bottom line. Let me read some of the notes. I doubt this gets released. Absolutely, it's not gonna get released. Not from them. You know, the figures. Yeah, that's the part with Hot Toys. When it comes about figures, Hot Toys is the one that releases amazing figures. But when it comes about dioramas and vehicles, they just don't. You know, they just tease stuff and it looks good. But if you want a person to do it, go to Jasing Dioramas. He's the one that is going to do it, and he's going to go overboard in the detail. He's gonna be, you're gonna pay a premium price, but you're gonna get the best scale vehicle you can find in the market. Nobody is gonna beat the Jasing. Nobody. And at this point in time, no company can beat what he does, because he is Jasing is the type of person that he will just eat the profits in order to produce the best quality possible. The other companies, they need the profit, so they're going to keep in corners, or they're going to do more plastic. But Jasing is going to go straight with the die-cast elements. He's going to change some things, but he's going to do it. And he's doing it all the time with some amazing figures. All right, so let me drink some water. And definitely, this is what we have to cover for Hot Toys. But like I mentioned, we're going to go back to Threezero because I skipped one figure. And I want to talk about it. And don't forget, if you're watching this, you like the content, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know you're watching. I appreciate your comments. Definitely, they build this channel. All right, my friends. So we're coming back to Facebook, but actually I'm gonna come to Sideshow. We're coming to Sideshow, and the reason I'm coming to Sideshow, I want to talk about another figure that I did not get the chance. We skip in this one right here, Optimus Prime Deluxe Edition. This is based on the Last Night Transformer. I will tell you, up to this day, I haven't watched the Last Night. I haven't. I got so upset with all the Bayformers because I supported the original, the first probably 3-4 movies, but then it got so it lost me. Up to this day I haven't watched the Last Night, and I'm not guilty. I'm not ashamed to say it. I haven't watched it. I might watch it one day just for the sake of it. Maybe we rent it. And you know, like, and I fell asleep and my wife watched it. I don't remember. I know there's some of those last Transformers movies I didn't even have the strength to watch it. I just, you know, I just went to sleep while it was on. So I haven't really watched this. You know, I consider it terrible films at the end. But I think Bumblebee was the thing that rescued it. But beyond that, it was bad. However, there's so many fans out there. They love this renditions of the Transformers. And the Last Night, the premium series Optimus Prime, I gotta give him credit. It looks good. You know, the designs. That's something that I will tell you. Yeah, I prefer the Generation 1 design. But I'm not gonna say that the design of the Bayformers is bad. I think the design was also good. Not all of this case of robots, but some are good, and Optimus is one of them. The only problem that I have is, of course, the movies is not the figures, not the design, not that. It's just the story and the plot, which is super cheesy and terrible, and make no sense. And all the stuff that you know Michael Bay do with the camera shots and the angles and everything is so weird. You know, the explosions and all that. The way he does it, it's just super cheap. But this figure looks amazing, and this is a large figure. Has 99 points of articulation. If you know, when Threezero makes these figures, they don't skip on the stuff. There's so many great elements out of it, and they have done it with all the figures. It looks good. The Optimus looks great. It doesn't have as many accessories, but I think what really sells this is just the articulation on this element. And I think there's a lot of die-cast elements here. Let me read just to double check. There it is. It's 19 inches tall. It has 99 points of articulation. Materials ABS, magnets, POM, what is that? POM and PVC. So that's a lot of plastic here too. Now, let me see. What is that? POM. What kind of plastic is that? So there's no die-cast elements here. That kind of sucks. That is another plastic. Okay. That's polyocymethylene plastic, which is acetal. It's an engineering term of plastic used in precision parts requiring high stiffness, low friction, and excellent dimensional stability, as with many other synthetic polymers. Okay, so in other words, this is the type of plastic that you use to resemble metal. Okay. Well, it kind of sucks, man, for the price. I wish it was that cast, it would be heavy. So it has less die-cast elements and it's more plastic, and you know, that kind of sucks. Still, you know, the design looks good, and they have released other figures, and every figure has been good, and people love those figures. I don't know. I just find it also expensive now, thinking about everything is plastic. I thought it would be just die-cast that would have die-cast elements. If without the die-cast, I found them even more expensive at that price point. But hey, it's a huge figure, you know, it's large, so definitely maybe you can consider that. But that is one that we kind of skip and we didn't talk about. All right, my friends, this is the end for the figures, and it's 9:10, so we've been at this for an hour now. Let me take a quick break. I'm trying to take breaks just for my own health, and we're coming back. Because we have statues. Now we're gonna cover the statues. We already covered the figures. We have a lot of figures to cover, but I want to talk about Iron Studios. Some of the stuff that also is already available for sale through Sideshow. I want to talk about Kotobukiya, some of the releases they have. I want to talk about Infinite Studio. I'm going to come back for Oniri Creations. We're going to come back for PCS, XM Studios, Prime 1 Studio, AzureSea Studio. And finally, we're going to talk about Sideshow Collectibles and Sideshow. We're going to cover in depth what I considered of the presentation with them. So give me just a few minutes and I'll be right back, and we'll continue on the conversation. So stay tuned.
You can save your alibi. I already know you lied. Oh no, no, don't even try. Watch the flame in me ignite. You didn't wanna walk the plank. But then ready or not it came. Baby, it was dark, it was hard to see, and that's when a spark lit inside of me. Oh, I was lost from reverie. One day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. Oh, one day you will see I found my inner peace. You are release in the dead of night. In the dead of night. Baby, when you still die, you know it's an eye for eye. Feel the energy align in the dead of night. 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 And one day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. Oh, and one day you will see I found my inner beast, and you watch it release.
All right, my friends, we are back. Thank you for waiting on me. And actually, I got a little bit distracted. I went downstairs to the kitchen and I grabbed a yogurt. I would just grab a yogurt. I wanted something. And when I was watching, my wife was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I've never been like a keep up with shows. She loves to keep with shows, and she's watches and she's binge watcher. She's a binge watcher, so she loves to binge watch stuff. She's been watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. all the seasons. So I just got intrigued by one of the episodes. It was pretty good. I was watching her while I'm eating the yogurt, and I was like, okay, I'm just watching the episode. It was interesting. So I said, hey, wait a minute, I gotta go and finish my video. So sorry, it took a little longer, but it is what it is. I want to say thank you to all of you for taking the time. Let me look at some of the notes here. Some of my friends. Hey, how you doing, everyone here? Let's see. Let's read everything. The rest in, let me see where were we. Eddie Rodriguez, the movies is good with a nice surround sound system. Oh, you're talking about the you're talking about the Transformers film the last night. Yeah, I think that's one thing about the Bayformers. They're just like movies that you watch, and definitely you have a surround sound and a big screen. That's the way you enjoy them. That's about it. Now let's read here. Dennis Perez. Hi from Puerto Rico. How you doing, Dennis? Thank you. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And Knight, hey, how you doing? How are you, Knight? Thank you for stopping by too. But yeah, man, I got distracted. I was watching and like, oh man, that looks pretty good. And sometimes I don't have time to watch TV. Well, I'm busy doing other things. But I love sometimes just sit down and watch TV with my wife. I just enjoy watching silly shows or whatever TV. She loves a lot of drama and police drama and English shows and all that stuff. So we watch a lot of stuff, like a lot of mystery. She loves that. In any case, let's move on. Now we're back, and we need to keep talking about about statues. Now we talk about the figures. We covered that for the first hour. Now we're gonna start going into statues because, of course, companies are continue to produce amazing quality stuff, and definitely there's plenty that we can discuss. So first, I want to cover. We coming back to. Sorry. I'm going to take you to Sideshow Collectibles once again. Let me try to do something here. I'm going to take you there. All right, so we're here at Sideshow, and definitely there's a couple of great pieces that we are going to cover. Of course, right now they have a lot of these special things, and of course, because of SideshowCon, they're gonna be releasing a few of these items. So these are the newest things that they have, and we're gonna put as the newest. It's gonna come out to the same thing anyway. But these are the figures. We have covered all the figures, prior figures, but these are the figures that they have. Of course, they're available for sale right now. They've been available in Brazil through different events that they have over there. So now they have this here. Now, I want to talk about the Wonder Twins. Of course, you remember the Super Friends. You remember the TV show back in the day, the cartoon. Then the Wonder Twins were introduced. And I love the character. I remember, it's San and Jaina. And it looks really, really good. As you can see right there. Of course, the 110. It doesn't say who creates this. But that is cool. And of course, I forgot the name of this monkey. If you remember, just remind me, because I forgot the name of that monkey. I think they look great. I think definitely this that's a great backside for sure. Great sculpt right there. So they did a good job on that one. They actually, it's more sexier than actually I remember from the cartoon. But it's a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job with the design. And it's a very tiny little piece. Only weighs 1.2 pounds. So it's not really that heavy. It's an exclusive from Iron Studios. And of course available through SideshowCon. And I'm not sure if it's going to be also through San Diego Comic-Con, perhaps. So I think they're really cool. In this case, you have to have both. To really, because that's how they're meant to be as the Wonder Twins. $265, I think, is fair because you're getting both pieces together as a combo. I think it looks really, really good. And definitely it's a great reminder of the cartoon growing up back in the day. So that looks really good. Now, another one that is also available for the event of the Witch King of Agmar, of course, for Lord of the Rings collectors, $210 for this one. I think it looks good. Definitely for a 110 scale piece, it looks great. The paint job, it's it's on point. It's not like, oh my god, it's super amazing. I think it's fair. Of course, it's higher, it's taller because the character is taller, is bigger, so definitely it's going to have a little more weight. It's 10.6 inches in height, 5.9 in width, and 4.7 that's the depth. So that's 27 centimeters for those who are familiar with metric system. So it's not bad. That's another one that was released for the event. We also have a Loki, and this is of course based on the MCU, on the throne. I think that's pretty good. $210 I think is fair with the size of this piece. Of course, with the throne, it looks really good. I think that is a nice job with it. I can see that. And as you can see, that's not small. I think that is a fair price for a it's a with the whole base and all that. Definitely that's requires a little bit more space to display. There's I would say like crazy detail on the throne, but I think it's done well, and it represents of course the MCU, and I think it's not bad. But I think the one a lot of people are more excited for, definitely, and that is, well, I think the Wonder Twins are great, but as an X-Men, the X-Men collectors, particularly with the Sentinel dioramas, Sauron, I think Sauron looks amazing. They did a fantastic job with this one when he was presented at first. Definitely looks super cool, this figure. Another exclusive. It is a nice pose for Sauron. Definitely they did a really good job with this one. I know that a lot of collectors are going to be jumping on this one to continue to grow that really nice display, that nice collection that they have with the Sentinel dioramas, the Danger Room session, or whatever you want to call it, like that, although it's not. But it looked really cool and neat. Definitely love the paint job on this one. Definitely the span, the way the detail, the way the action pose, all of that. I think they did a fantastic job. The Iron Studios sculptors did a fantastic job with this one. So let's give him some credit for doing an amazing job. Now I want to move on to another. Let me see if there's any comments. Let me look at some of the notes here. Want to make sure. Okay, everything's cool. But everyone, thank you for stopping by. Now let's look. Don't forget to leave a like, my friends. Don't forget to leave a like. That's important. Now I want to move to another company. I want to move to Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya, of course, a company that I always have great respect. I started this channel really producing videos, reviewing Kotobukiya fine art statue stuff. But this company definitely is doing, continue its legacy. And they doing stuff now, of course, with the, now the new stuff some stuff that I need to review. But they have, of course, the vinyl stuff. In this case, the PVC stuff. That's something that they are very good at. And I want to talk about these 4 pieces that you see right here. Last week we talked about Optimus Prime, Bishoujo. We also talk about Thor. I think we talked about the Joker one bad day at some point. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. But we have Crosshair. If you love the Bad Batch, which I really love the show, looking forward to the second season, the second part of this show. $160. If you know, when it comes about the PVC stuff, Kotobukiya, it's always been considered, I would say, one of the best, and definitely the best in my opinion. Love the ArtFx line. Definitely they always come with great detail. Fantastically well done, and definitely now with different accessories to chain things out, make this another great piece. It has the portrait with that. Definitely you're building this Bad Batch. They already have a few figures to go alongside it. Let's see if we can see it. Of course, they got Wrecker, they got Hunter, they got Tech. So definitely you already have this companion pieces. Wrecker, I think, looks really cool. It's not bad. In some way, I would say that paint job is not the best. But keep in mind, they trying to follow in this case, the show. Record looks good. If you're really, they're 1/7 scale. That's what this line in particular is. I think Hunter looks really good here. They all gonna look very good together for sure. The Bad Batch is a fantastic depiction of that. Price wise, I will say steep. $160, I found it a bit high for this PVC figure. But when you compare it to other companies like Mega House and what they're producing at $200, I think it's a fair price. Here's tech. And I love the fact that you get the switch out portraits too. And that is cool. I think this collection is coming along really, really nicely. So we have tech right there. So let me try to come back to, we can make it right here. Now, I would say the Bishoujo line, of course, continues to grow. They released 3 Bishoujos this week for sale. We have the Jane Foster, the Thor, of course. Now, I haven't watched the Thor film. I'm not sure if I want to do it this weekend. I want to take a break. I might do it next weekend. This weekend, I'm a bit tired after a long week at work. I'm just gonna relax, and I have to things, you know, help my wife here in the house do things. I will tell you, I'm not a fan of this one for some reason. I found this perhaps not the best Bishoujo. Of course, the pose is classic, based on the character, of course, now. The more modern depiction of Jane Foster as Thor. But I'm not necessarily a fan of this Bishoujo. I found it very plasticky looking. The paint job is not the best. I actually found Loki, or She-Loki, or whatever, found it much better. Like, I found her to be a lot better. For some reason, I don't know if it's the pictures or what, I'm just not feeling this figure. And it's not that I'm hateful for the character, because I have no problem with her as Thor. Now, here you have the Loki Bishoujo. I think this is a much better depiction. I think they did a much better depiction of Loki for sure. Very cool figure. I wouldn't say that it's the best depiction that I've seen of the Bishoujos, but I think it's a much better depiction. Now, I think the one that definitely was more interesting in the end for me is Megatron. We talk about Optimus Prime. But this Megatron Bishoujo, I think that is perhaps the one that I found myself more intrigued by it, and the design and the concept and what they decided to pull with this one. And I think it really works so good. It's a very interesting, of course, you would not put 2 and 2 together. You wouldn't say, well, what has this girl to do with Megatron? But if you know the Bishoujo line and what they're trying to achieve with these figures, I think they did a phenomenal job. I think this is the best so far of all the stuff that released on the Bishoujo this week. It really looks cool. Nice concept. Very sexy Megatron. In my mind, I would say, hey, Megatron is sexy. But this is a very sexy Megatron. Hey, Batman, how you doing, my friend? How are you? Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, man, they did a good job. Even the paint job on that cannon is cool. And of course, they have the Decepticon base. And here right next to Optimus. Really cool. Definitely really cool. They did a fantastic job with this one. No complaints. So I think this is perhaps the best. I think that all the Bishoujos, these two, they have to go together, alongside together. They even, like, you can look at the bases. They were made in a way that they can connect together. They back to back. That is cool. So this is a cool one. I mean, you know, this is one that definitely say, like, you know what, it makes sense to me. It makes sense that it really fits the Bishoujo line. I would say definitely Thor was a disappointment for some reason. It's just the way it looks, and the Loki is better, but Megatron Bishoujo was a much better, in the end, in my opinion, the better deal. The better deal. All right, so now let me come back here, look at some of the comments. Thank you, everybody. You know, everybody that is here tonight. I appreciate it, my friends. Always, it's a pleasure to see you here. Thank you for supporting the channel. All right. Time to move on. I want to move on to, we still here at Sideshow, and I want to come to let's come to this. I want to talk about a company that I talked about it before, but I haven't really had the opportunity to talk about always because, you know, it's not necessarily always at the top chart or anything, or people talking about it, but it's a company that I have great respect. One time I produced a video here, and even they reach out to me and they say, hey, you know, thank you for promoting our product. And this company, Infinite Statue. Infinite Statue is a company based in Italy, an Italian company. which, you know, there's not many companies in Italy that I know of. And I think I love what they do, the art they produce. And I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what they produce here. For those who need to know more about this company, here you have Infinity Studio. This is the stuff they have so far. They also produce figures. They have statues like Toshiro Mifune, you know, amazing. So thankfully, figures too, based on characters of, you know, of TV, television. This is the one I love. I love the John Wayne. This is a great statue. I talk about this statue. That's the one that I talk about. But man, they have a lot of this, in my opinion, amazing looking depictions of great characters. You know, in this case, also Bud Spencer. I love the movies from Bud Spencer back in the day when I was a kid. Love his movies. Definitely John Wayne. My father was a big fan. Marlon Brando with Bike. So you see all these amazing statues. Paul Newman. Great Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I think that's a figure that looks amazing. Jerry Lewis. So you see all the stuff they produce here. Laurel and Hardy. Really amazing. Ingrid Bergman. Charlie Chaplin. So they have all these amazing things. Peter Sellers. But I think the one that I want to talk about is the one that they just released this weekend. Is this Vincent Price? For those who are familiar with Vincent Price, he was a great star, an actor that was part of so many horror movies. He's an actor that really made a career with horror in horror movies, and I think his legacy is always gonna be remember because of that. People that grew up into his movies, you know, Vincent Price is considered one of the most iconic, I'm reading this, and beloved stars of classic horror movies in the world. Sophisticated, ironic, and theatrical, Vincent Price succeeded in giving his evil, ruthless, sadistic, morally questionable personalities a grotesque character, a menacing and casual elegance that, together with his unique and unmistakable voice, brought him great success and his nickname as Master of Menace. From The House of Wax, which the first film that he did that was horror film, what was that, 1959, to Edgar Allan Poe's masterpieces, from House on Haunted Hill to his last performance in Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands in 1990. Vincent Price played the dark, stylish side of evil with irony and chilling talent. So they did a fantastic job. They got the regular version, but they also have an exclusive that I think has interchangeable parts, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what the exclusive has. It's a 1/6 scale statue. I think exclusive alternative hand with noose. Okay, so can you change it? I'm not so sure. It looks good. I think the job on his portrait is fantastic. Here you got the noose, and of course you have that head. I love the portrait. I think it's fantastic. It resembles the actor so well. And I think this edition is just because he has the noose. Now, if you want the other version, so there's no interchangeable parts. This comes with just where he's carrying that in his hand. I forgot right now. Candle. So he has the candle. It's cool, and that is very not necessarily for everyone, for sure, because you cannot remove that. So definitely it's gonna be scary, but definitely this is for the horror fan, the people that grew up in that era of movies and love the stuff. I think they have done a fantastic job with the statues, fully sculpted. Is grotesque for sure, but yeah, the axe back there, but definitely this company is doing an amazing job for this. You know, there is a market for it, and definitely I think Infinite's statue definitely caters to that market. This is going to release between January and March of 2023. The artists involved here, let's give him some love, is Daniele Danco Angelosi, the sculptor. Then we have Fabio Veruti is the art director. Dario Barbera is the painter, and Fabio Verassi is the production manager. So all of this, of course, are Italian artists. Amazing. I think it's an amazing thing that I wanted to point out. Now, I want to take you to Spec Fiction. And I want to take you to Spec Fiction because I want to point out another company that is also a European company, and definitely one that a lot of people love. And they're doing amazing work, and that is Oniri Creations. Oniri Creations released a 1/6 scale statue of the character Kuchiki Byakuya from Bleach, if you're a fan of the anime and the manga. $579. I think it's an excellent price. I don't know who was the artist here. But I think this is a great depiction of the character. Oniri does amazing work. Of course, some people might not like the way the base is done because, of course, it just kind of takes more real estate. If you know Oniri, of course, they do this intricate bases. I would say the base itself at the bottom is not as intricate, but this things in the back definitely that adds a little bit more space. So definitely you're gonna have to need more space to display, a taller space to do it. But it looks good. It's a great depiction. Looks interesting. Those blades right there look interesting. And nothing wrong with that. And definitely another thing that Oniri does, of course, they do the combination of PVC and all these plastics and polystone. And I love the effect of the water, the resin, the clear resin there. That is really cool. So it's interesting. Here you can see it's giving you a reference in the size compared to other of the pieces they have released. Green Joe, Jagger Jack, we talked about it before. Kurosaki, Ichigo right there. So you can see the difference in the height and using centimeters. So it's almost 40 centimeters. With this one, it's over 50. So you're adding 10 more centimeters. So definitely it's going to be taller. And you're going to have to worry more about that space. And that's not removable, unfortunately. I don't think it is. It doesn't say if it is. So it looks cool. I think price-wise, it's expensive. But you're really into this collection of Oniri. You already kind of know the price point that Oniri is catering for that, and definitely there's gonna be a market for it. There's always a market for these characters from anime and manga, so that is cool. Oniri did another good job with this one. Not necessarily a keen of the base on the decision to make it too tall, but it doesn't look. I think the art is good. All right, my friends, I want to move now. Well, let's go back to Sideshow because I want to talk about PCS, and I want to talk about the most recent PCS piece, which a lot of people are excited for it. If you are really into Mega Man, that there's something really to talk about. They got the Mega Man X, and they have two versions. They showcased this before. That was showcased for a while. They have the regular version. There's 600 pieces for that quarter scale piece. Now we get into the quarter scale. We move on from the 1/6 quarter scale. And they have this one, $695. I think it's a fair price. This is the regular version. I think it's interesting. You know, I wouldn't say that, oh my God, I'm blown away. It's a museum pose, and it looks interesting the way they did it. I found it a bit pricey for what it is, but it seems that there's a market out there. People love it. The paint job is excellent. PCS always does excellent paint jobs with the prototypes, but that's about it. You know, find it pricey. I'm guessing is because of the demand of this character. I don't think there's any light of features. No, there's none. So it's just basic, and people will complain about the price. Now the deluxe version, it's more expensive, only $300, and this is the whole shebang. It comes with everything. Where everything is being put together. So it's the same figure, interchangeable parts. If I'm not mistaken, the portrait for starters. And it has a Lido feature. It's 30 inches high, which is tall. And you can have the different things with his face. It's interesting. When I look at this, I was reminded a little bit of the Astro Boy figure that was produced by Blissway. And that it comes also with the parts where everything is put together. That is a figure. And to me, it makes sense. I think that's a fantastic figure. Let me see if I can find it here for you. Let's look at this one. Blissway Astro Boy. For those who are unfamiliar with this one, I talked about it years ago. Blissway Astro Boy Deluxe. Right there. That is an amazing. Of course, right now it's going for crazy prices. When it came out, it was available at Sideshow. That was the Autumn Deluxe. It came out to $549. Now in the aftermarket it's for $2,000. Amazing. I think to me, this is a fantastic figure. When it was announced, when it was showcased at San Diego Comic-Con, I was like, oh my God, this is good. This is good. I think the price was excellent. Light of features, all of that. It's a figure where you can get all the parts of Astro Boy. You know, you can do all sort of things with it. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. It's an amazing figure. And definitely the whole thing, you know, you can put the parts together. That is amazing. I know some collectors, I have a couple of friends that they have it and they love it. It's good. And that's the reason why it's commanding such high price on the aftermarket. You know, $600, less than $200, you know, that's it. You know, the real super anime, and this of course done by, you know, by Blizzway. They did an amazing job with this one. So when I'm looking at this Mega Man, the first thing that came to mind was that, you know, they kind of took that idea and decided to gonna go with it, which I totally understand, but they made it a statue and it has lighter features, which is fine. And it has some cool stuff, but man, it's just finding it too expensive at this price. And you know, there's now more in comparison to the other one. The only switch out parts will be the portrait. That's about it. But there's nothing like you can don't see parts. I would like to see a complete body swap out or something like that. That's the only thing that I would say. It looks cool. I'm not denying it. I know some people are gonna love it, and definitely it needs real estate to display. I just feel that in some way I feel that they just copied that Astro Boy idea, which in my opinion it was amazing and still is amazing. But because even if you look at here, Astro Boy, if you come back to some people, depending on where you go, and you got the clear version, it's like $899, sealed $2,000 on eBay. Some people have it for less supposedly, but I think they have a different version. There's a different version that doesn't have the everything, if I'm not mistaken. So there's the clear version. So there's not the version that has all the body swap out. So there's different versions that Blizzway has produced and stuff like that. So it is what it is. No reason to cry over spilled milk. Still, I like the idea. I think it's a great idea. It's a great concept. And let's see what they do with it. If they continue with this and they also add other characters to it. But yeah, I found it steep. But I don't know. It's cool, you know, and I gotta give him benefit, you know, for that. Definitely, they come out with something very unique, very different, and they should deserve that praise for doing something different. I think PCS has been trying a lot of new things. They going into different routes to see what stick, what actually pulls them out of just being considered only the company that produces Street Fighter stuff into, you know, company that also produces other things, you know. And I think that's where they're trying to do more and more nowadays. All right, my friends. So that's it for them. Let me go back and read at some of the comments here. Right here, late night. Besides Sideshow, do recommend any other companies to order from? You mean to order this type of products? Oh, well, it depends. I recommend Spec Fiction to order statues. Spec Fiction is a great company. If you're looking for figures, there's other companies that I will recommend in Asia. There's a few companies that can do it. There's a few. There are a couple of figures, but when it comes about like PCS, and normally you can also do Big Bad Toy Story, if I'm not mistaken, with PCS now. You know, Big Bad Toy Story is another company that can do it. Also, it's fair. To be honest, there's not many companies, but Spec Fiction is one that has always been good. And you know, Big Bad Toy Store and all that. That is, I would say, it is really overpriced. I agree, Jason. I just find it that it looks cool. It's amazing. The whole concept definitely is super high, super big, but I don't know. I think I will accept the price for that big thing. It also has switch out parts. Like you can do like we did with the Astro Boy. If they do more switch out parts, just not only the portrait, I think then by all means, I think yeah, pay it. But I think that figure from Astro Boy was amazing as it was. That and it was, of course, you know, talking about a few years ago, the price was, you know, what they asking for the regular version, less than what they're asking for the regular version. So, and that is just a statue that has no movable parts. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, we'll see what happens. Hey JP, sorry, I've been not active in chat. Your videos are playing in the background while I paint. No problems, my friend. I totally understand. Have fun with your painting. No problem. Thank you for sticking with me. Chatting and all that. I totally understand. Thank you. I know many of you come and watch the video, and while you're doing other things, some of you might be working or might be doing other things, but not a problem. I totally understand. You know, I appreciate that you take the time tonight to be here with me. All right, my friends, let's move on. I want to move on now to one of the big companies, XM Studios. Definitely XM Studios always commands a lot of people. Like, people love what XM does. And who wouldn't love XM Studios? You know, they are a great company. So we're going to go there. Let me go there. XM Studios, love this stuff. They released the Thing, Fantastic Four thing, and people are really loving this one. Now, the retail price for this statue, it's 1,499 Singapore dollars. The full payment, you get a 5% discount, so it's 14,2405. If you're a Prestige member, which means that you have purchased directly from them in the past, and you have an account with them technically, then you can get you know, and a 10% discount, which is $1,349.10. If you pay in full, then you get another 5%, so it's coming out to $1,274.15. So it pays, you know, to buy directly from them. However, you know, if you're in the States, you have to pay top dollar for the shipping. So now it's available in pretty much in Afghanistan and Australia, Bahrain. So it's available in the Middle East. It's available in Asia, Southeast Asia, in China, which is Asia, and that's about it. Singapore, Thailand, you know, that's it. You know, it's not available anywhere else. But of course, you can get this piece through Spec Fiction, through other means. You know, there's other companies, other ways to do it. Spec Fiction will be the best choice. Now, you have to pay this. You're paying a deposit is 500 Singapore dollars. Now, this piece, let's look at the artists involved here. This is going to release. Well, the pre-order is already open. I don't know when this is going to release. The edition size, the max for this, or they're trying to achieve, is 599 pieces, which is a good number. Now, the people involved here, let's see. You have Injuk Lee as the designer. You got Leo Takeshi Sakamoto. This is the 3D designer, the sculptor. And then you have the XM Studios design and development team. It's manufactured by XM Studios, of course. And here you can give you an idea of the shipping cost. So this is a big baby. I remember when there was a lot of back and forth in regard to the scale, because people were saying that it was too small or too big. So ultimately, XM Studios decided to compromise. So you go to the private XM Studios group. They compromise on the scale of this statue into a perfect size. They didn't want to make it too big, that be overpowering the other characters in the Fantastic Four. Because ultimately, when you compare it with Hulk, you know, Hulk is always bigger than the Thing, because people wanted to have it same size and say, well, no, it's not gonna work out so good. Things should be smaller but also bulkier. So that's what they did, and they adjusted the size, and it's gonna be adjusted in the final product. I will tell you, it is great. I think it's a fantastic depiction of the Thing, you know. And some people were thinking that this is the first thing ever, and no, this is not the first thing ever. Sideshow produced back in the day. I remember things. I have the Thing. I have one of the things. I have the Thing, and I sold that thing. I sold that premium format years ago. I got it. I sold it. You know, that's way before. And let me show you, like, to give you an idea, if you've never seen a Sideshow Thing statue. Sideshow the Thing. There's two. They produced one for the film, the Sideshow film. They produced this one, which actually they were different versions. There was the regular, and also there was a pants version right here. You can see. But this thing, I'm telling you, let me see if we can see it here. It is amazing. It was amazing. I remember that. I always loved it. And always look good. There's somebody reviewing it there. So this is the thing, as you can see right there. Maybe you can see it right there. Let's see some images right there. Really good. You got the interchangeable portraits for the exclusive. You got another portrait. It was really cool. You know, mostly based on the classic stuff. Here you have the one with the pants, which was like even more limited in some way, if I'm not mistaken. This was back in 2008. I remember I came back into statue collecting because I was married. In 2007, I started collecting again. I started with Sideshow, and this is one of the pieces that I purchased. Not this one, this limited edition, the modern thing with the premium with the pants. I didn't purchase that one, but I did have the other, in this case the regular one, the shorts. Really cool piece, in my opinion. Always like it. Very cool. They got the regular, you know, just had the portrait, but also exclusive had the two portraits, if I'm not mistaken. But another one that was produced is this one for the film, and it has a little cigar, which was pretty cool concept. So these are the official pieces that have been done for quarter scale collectors. That was a maquette from the film, and of course the statue, the premium format figure, and of course you have the Bowen designs, which amazing, and there were other smaller pieces produced by other companies. I love that Bowen designs by the way. But in any case, there hasn't been anything done in recent times. There hasn't been anything done at all. So, officially quarter scale. So XM Studios is delivering on this promise, and they're doing something really good. I love the sculpt. I think it's fantastic. Now, the only complaint I may have about this statue is the paint job on this prototype. I found it too brown, that at some parts it looks a bit dark. Perhaps it's just the picture, perhaps it's just the way the lighting and the contrast, all of that, but at some points it looks so dark, for example, that you cannot see his eyes. That was the big difference with the Sideshow. Remember, one thing that I always struck me about that depiction with Sideshow is that the blue eyes, they were so clear, so bright, like they look good. You can see those eyes, they were big. Here they weren't with the more modern version, so the eyes are so tiny that you don't see the eyes. All you see is the shadow, which is more like a 90s kind of thing, I suppose. But it takes away from the beauty of the, Ben Grimm always has these beautiful blue eyes, even in the comics. I remember that in the comics. Matter of fact, I can show you, let's see, I'm gonna show you this in a moment. All right, thank you for waiting on me. I'm gonna show you this. Let me kind of give you a quick idea. Here we have, of course, the omnibus, the Fantastic Four. Let me open my omnibus. This is the era for me that I love Fantastic Four. This is the original. I reviewed this years ago. I don't know if I can find a page where I can see let me see if I can find it here. I'm gonna show you. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll see it. Maybe I'll find it. Maybe I see a depiction. I wasn't prepared for this. It's just impromptu, so forgive me for the impromptu thing. Oh well. I don't see it well. I don't find it. But if you look at the comics, one thing I always love about the comics with Ben Grimm is that when you look at the comics and the presentation, Ben Grimm always had this very nice eyes. Sometimes you can see, and that's something that I will tell you, John Byrne was so good at creating those eyes, and definitely when you look at the character, I always loved those blue eyes that he had. So he has blue eyes, but you don't want him being too small. I like that. Of course, this is not based. They're not basing this statue on the art of. Maybe you can see here in the title. It's kind of repainted, but here you can see, if you look deep enough, you can see the character there. Definitely, you can see his eyes. Kind of blue eyes. Look really good. It's something that part of the design that they always did. So going back to this, I like it. Definitely like it. I just found it to be like, I don't see the eyes. Another thing, I feel that it's too dark on the browns. It would be nice if it was more of an orange. I feel like if it was more on the orange side, it will look even better in my opinion, because it looks too brown. Even the Sideshow, it was more orange. It has less of that detail and the rocky color, like the browns and stuff, and the dark and the grays. It didn't have as much as that. And I'm not saying that this piece looks bad. It's not at all. I think it's a beautiful sculpt, very interesting sculpt. And here you can see the eyes. Like here I love the eyes. Look amazing, but they're kind of hidden on the eyebrow. It kind of hidden, but I love that he is yelling and screaming. It would be nice if this actually had two different portraits. Why not just scream? Actually, it does have two portraits now that I remember. This one right here, I love this one. When you see him with the smile, but man, that. It's just kind of hitting on those eyes. Maybe they shouldn't just lower that, but it's just maybe a nitpick. It's just fine. I think with the brown and the dark colors, and perhaps it's just the way they did the pictures, it's gonna look much better. But there's a lot of potential. I wouldn't say that I'm crazy about the destructed, the base. It's not my favorite thing. I'm just glad to see that there's another thing that is being produced, and definitely the paint job. It's not bad. It's just I will prefer something more on the orange side. I love the musculature. I think the sculpt is excellent. And the detail with the shorts, all of that. Ben Grimm is one of my favorite characters, always been. Love the pants. Really cool. The modern depiction, they went really cool on this one. The dimensions here is 54.2 centimeters in height. It's a cool depiction of the thing. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think they did an excellent job with it. Everything else just nitpicking perhaps, but yeah, that's the thing with the blue eyes. Is the only thing that I'm going to point out. Yeah, because like I mentioned, I always love the more orange colors of the thing. I love the orange. I think that's what makes it shine even more. Always been the case, and trying to see if I can find it here. I love this one. If you have never read this, The Fantastic Four by John Byrne, man, you need to do it. You need to do it. Don't do yourself a disservice. Read it. I think this is the best. And actually, I need to replace this omnibus. I've been replacing some of my older omnibuses for newer omnibuses. I don't get rid of this one. I keep this one for collectible purposes. But I like to get newer versions which are thinner. I love that. So it's good. It's good for now. But in any case, definitely, I think it's a fantastic one. Now, let me read some of the comments here. If anybody's mentioning anything in regards to it. The detail phenomenal. Let's see. This is Eddie. The detail is phenomenal, and who doesn't want more thing? Yeah, I think the detail is good. It says right there. I actually met the actor who played him in the film. Oh, you did? Cool. He was also, what was that other show that he was? What was that? The Shield? He was in that show too. I haven't seen him in forever. A movie. When that movie came out, before it came out, I was hoping for so much for that film. It was fun, but definitely I would love to see now the Fantastic Four. Now with the, with the MCU, see what they do with it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. But definitely looking forward to it, and it's nice to see now collectibles coming back. I'm enjoying this. Oh, thank you. Me too. I appreciate your time, Eddie. I feel the Fantastic Four doesn't get enough love. It doesn't, I think, for a time because of the stuff that was happening between Fox and Disney and all that. But that is water under the bridge now. So now everything is coming strong, and XM Studios has been talking. If you're, they're saying that they are already having plans to do the whole Fantastic Four. So I don't know how they're gonna do with Reed Richards, and what they're gonna do with Sue Storm, or what they're gonna do with Johnny Storm. Really looking forward to see that. Definitely is going to be amazing. Will you order XM the thing? I will not, because I'm not ordering quarter scale pieces. I'm not into quarter scale. I'm into 1/6 scale collectibles now. My time doing quarter scale was a long time ago. I'm not doing quarter scale stuff anymore. All I do now it's 1/6 scale. I would love for companies to produce a 1/6 scale. That's something that is kind of being left out right now, with a lot of companies are not producing a lot of 1/6 scale stuff for Marvel stuff for the time being. But we'll see. There's plenty out there, with the Bowen stuff and all that, still kind of to fill in the gaps. But definitely a true 1/6 scale. Right now I'm concentrating onto the 1/6 scale with Twitterhead stuff, which is only concentrated with DC and now with Masters of the Universe. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see a 1/6 scale thing, even from XM Studios at some point. But I love the design of this one. As a quarter scale, I recommend it. I think it's good because there's no other option unless you want the more classic stuff from the premium format, which is amazing. I had it, but of course it was good for the time, for the standards of those years. Now, not so much. But I'm not gonna order it. No, I'm just not. In any case, I think it's a great piece. I do believe that they should change some of the colors on it. More of that, again, more of that orange will make it even better. And I think it will make it shine even more. And also enhance maybe it raise the eyebrows so that way you can see the eyes better. Those blue eyes. But in any case, that is for XM Studios tonight. And I want to move on, and I want to go to Prime One Studio. That is the, if I'm not mistaken, that is the next. No, actually, no. I want to move to, before we get into, yeah, we're going to go to Prime One Studio. That's the next one on the list. And that is where we are here at Prime One Studio. This is one that I want to talk about here. Let me go. Vampirella, we talked about it last week. Amazing looking piece, definitely. Here we have the two pieces that I want to cover today. We have the Nemesis deluxe version, and we have the Jill Valentine. So let's start first with Jill Valentine. I think Jill Valentine looks really good. These pieces are quarter scale. If you're a quarter scale collector, look up Resident Evil #3. Here, deluxe version, limited edition. You get a $75 discount for this product by using the coupon code RE375, only if you have already purchased the other version, the Nemesis. So if you purchase both, you get a $75 discount, which is not much. They should give you a better discount. I think XM Studios does have much better discounts on this in comparison to other companies. But this is $13.99. This is really amazing. This is the deluxe version, so it comes with that. I think comes with the deluxe version. If I'm not mistaken, comes. Let's see what it comes with. You get the Resident Evil themed staircase base, 2 swappable Jill Valentine portraits. You get a zombie dog on a separate display base. This is estimated arrival between October 23 and January 2024. This is gonna take forever. It's gonna probably arrive till late 2024, if not 2025. But they did such a fantastic job. I love how the paint job on this piece, it looks like her body, like real skin, you know, like he's sweating right there. It looks so good. And this is something that I will tell you, Prime One Studio does amazing jobs on this depiction. Now Nemesis in the background, he is huge as he is supposed to be. And these pieces together, they're a must together. You know, this display really looks amazing. And she has interchangeable portraits. I love these 2 portraits. I think they did a phenomenal job in this. And with the Cerberus right there, the deluxe part, the swappable head part, you got LED illumination on it. That is a super cool display. And so far, I will tell you, anything they have done with Resident Evil, all the different dioramas they have done, they've been amazing. And of course, there's always going to be a complaint about some of the likeness. I think the previous diorama, people didn't. There were some complaints by some collectors that didn't like some of the stuff that came out. But for the most part, I think they have done a fantastic job with this collection. Really looks good. Here you can see that dog and the light up feature. It looks amazing. Definitely. I think right now Resident Evil is getting a lot of love from a lot of people. Yeah. The giant Nemesis, yeah, it's also an attachment. This thing is huge. Yeah, it is huge. You know that. You know, like Nemesis goes alongside as an attachment, but it looks amazing. They did such a fantastic job with this one. And look at her face. It looks, the skin and pores and all that, and you can see the sweat in her skin, make it look so natural for a polystone piece. Amazing. Of course, you know, this is a prototype. Prototypes always look better than the final product. But if you know, in this case, Prime One Studio is very close to him. And really close in comparison to other companies. So the potential is there for a really nice looking diorama for sure. Look at that dog. Look at the size of Nemesis. Man, Nemesis looks huge. That is a huge quarter scale piece. Huge. Man, that thing is dwarf, you know, like 1/3 scale pieces. It dwarfs anything. Yeah, with Nemesis. And that is the deluxe version right there. Man, that is a huge looking piece. And definitely there's like 99 photographs. So there's so many different angles. So many things you can do with this piece. So many points to change that, you know, to display at different angles, or so many things you can do. Like, looks amazing. I'm telling you, this is one of the most beautiful pieces that I've seen produced, even for this collection. Definitely Jill Valentine looks really hot right there for sure. She looks pretty for sure. But man, that looks amazing. Look at the detail. Definitely, that is great. So we're gonna skip some of the pictures because definitely there's gonna be so many to look at, and they're all really well done. But now I want to look at Nemesis, which is a companion to it, and definitely you should display them together. That is the purpose of those pieces. They come out really, really good. Yeah, they did. Like Night. Nemesis $14.99. So definitely you're paying $3,000 for everything plus shipping, which is gonna be expensive. But that Nemesis, let me look at the dimensions. Let's see, we can see dimensions wise here. Detail is 92 centimeters in tall. It's almost a meter tall. For a quarter scale piece, that's really, really tall. It is huge. Nemesis is huge. I'm telling you, they did such an amazing job with this. And you have the swappable hand parts. You got the rocket launcher right there that you can display. Man, I'm telling you, Nemesis looks really, really pumped. You know, it really looks like huge. And the parts that they come with it, this is the ultimate depiction of this character for sure in statue form. I don't think anything can top this one. You know, there was a Nemesis back then, if I'm not mistaken. Who was the one that did the Nemesis statue back in the day? I think it was, now that I come to think of it, Nemesis, Resident Evil Nemesis statue. I think it was Hollywood Collectibles, Resident Evil Nemesis statue. Right there. That Hollywood collection, which was the Hollywood Collectibles or whatever, did one. Yeah, this is the one right here. Nemesis statue. It's on eBay now. Yeah, that was produced by that was a, if I'm not mistaken, that was also a quarter scale. It was a 1/3 scale. No, it was a hand painted statue. Nemesis stands 21 inches tall. So that was in, who was the one that did this one? I don't remember who did it. Yeah, I know who did it. It was Hollywood Collectibles. Yes, it was a quarter scale too, and I think it was undersized in comparison to this one. But that was, you know, $600 back in the day. Of course, you know, you're talking about when it came out. It's been a while. It's been a while. But this was produced for them, and there were only 100 pieces worldwide, 30 inches tall, according to this one. So that's pretty much about right. Now, I just remember that, which is, you know, time flies, you know, things change. But man, I think this is much better. It's quarter scale, but this is the ultimate representation of Nemesis. I think it's better. Overall, the paint job is better. It's a great companion piece. It looks really good. The other one was good. It wasn't bad for the time, but I think this one is a lot better in the end overall. The whole design, the paint job, the sculpt is really, really good. And of course, you know, the rocket launcher, that is really, really cool. It is a really nice piece, for sure. If you're a Resident Evil fan, then definitely this two, they're a must together. They're a must together for sure. They work together perfectly, so you're gonna have to pay top dollar for both for sure. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm telling you, they did a fantastic job with this one for sure. No doubt about it. Let me read some of the comments here. Let's see. It's also an attachment. This thing is huge. Really did come out good. The other set that was announced last year, I believe, also looked good. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I think so far this collection looks amazing. And the fact that they're going into these dioramas, I think, is the best part of it. Now, why does a monster this huge need a rocket launcher? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the way the game is. You know, it's still, when you look at the Resident Evil games, you look like, you know, they're silly. You know, the whole plot and the whole and the way the characters are and the way they move, the whole thing is silly, but it's very popular. It's always been. All right, guys. Now I want to move to another company before we get into Sideshow Con, into Sideshow Collectibles. I want to talk about a company, AzureSea Studio. I want to cover AzureSea, and for that, I'm gonna come to Spec Fiction. And I'm coming to Spec Fiction because I want to talk about this company, which is AzureSea. We already talked about the One Piece Luffy, and this piece I talked about it last week. It's Infinity Studio. It's now available there, of course. Spec Fiction, $1,100, which is cool. But now I want to talk about AzureSea. AzureSea, it released this. Of course, one of the things that AzureSea does is a lot of Transformer stuff. They got SixShot. For those who are familiar with the Generation 1 SixShot, of course, this character, even on the toy form, it was introduced, and you know, it was not really a big character on the G1 Transformers, but it was like one of, you know, G1 was created really to sell the toys, and it was one of those toys that actually can transform into 6 different vehicles. So now they have a new statue. Of course, they call it non-scale, but it's huge. Let's see what the dimensions. The height is 85 centimeters, which is tall. It's not as tall as this we just saw the Nemesis. Nemesis is almost a meter, so it's close to, but still smaller. 66 centimeters in width, 52 centimeters in length, but it's more expensive because definitely Transformers sell really well. $2,100, I think, is still overpriced. But this one, this comes with so many different switch out and different weapons. I think it also has a light-up feature, if I'm not mistaken. It looks good. You know, it's a more modern rendition of a SixShot. And it's cool. Like, you can see the different parts of the different versions. So he transforms into all these different vehicles. I think you can actually have these little pieces for display with it. That's kind of cool. It's not a bad. We don't get that many pictures. This company definitely does a lot of stuff in Asia. That's when Asia Transformers, they sell super well. But of course, they're imported by Spec Fiction, and Spec Fiction, you know, if you're outside of that area. But it comes with 2 swords. You get 2 laser guns. You got 2 different portraits. You got 1 Decepticon plate. You got 5 different forms. You got a tank, a spaceship, laser gun, off-road vehicle, and wolf. So those are parts that you can display in front of them. Kind of the same thing as Action Studios does, that you have the little vehicles forms so you can display alongside. So that's the same thing that you get in here. It looks cool. There's even a YouTube video right there where it kind of showcases some of the stuff. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but you can go to YouTube if you need to kind of watch the stuff they have. You got the replacement hits, rich and restore accessories. I don't know if you're able to hear it, but in any case, that kind of looks kind of cool right there. So, no complaints on it in the sense that they're doing, you know, some really cool stuff there. Definitely, as you see, price-wise, I would say it's expensive, but if you know this market, if you're already into the Transformers, so you know that it sells really well in Asia. So they know their market, they sell it well over there. Now, if you want to kind of tap into it, definitely AzureSea through Spec Fiction, that would be another option. So as you can see, AzureSea, we have talked about it, this company lately a lot. They release a lot of great Transformers stuff. I love the stuff they produce. Great characters, great depictions, a lot of stuff based on in this case, on the comics, which is amazing in my opinion. That's great. So definitely, AzureSea, that's something worth checking out. All right, my friends, it's 10:14. I need to take another break, but we're coming to the end of the video. We're gonna talk about, when I get back, I want to talk about Sideshow. And we're gonna talk about the Sideshow con. We're gonna talk about everything that was released, all the hints, everything that was showcased so far, the good things, the bad things, the drama that started, and the things that I consider good and the things I consider bad, which is there's so much to talk about. So when I come back, we'll get that conversation going, and of course an idea of all the reveals so far. There's gonna be probably more reveals over the weekend and next week, but so far we'll see how things go. So thank you. Stay tuned. Don't forget, if you're watching this, leave a like. You know, let me know that you're watching this, and I'll get back and we'll go through the the comments and all of that in just a moment. Thank you.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you for waiting. Appreciate your support. Thank you. I had to do some phone call too to my wife. I had to leave. It was an emergency with my daughter or something like that. I had to go and pick her up or something. I think that she forgot her keys or something like that. In any case, I want to say to all of you, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Welcome everyone that is here. I want to say to Radames de la Cruz, welcome. Thank you for Radames. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you very much for taking the time. But everyone, it's always a pleasure to be here and taking time to, talk about all these things. Now, I want to talk about, as I mentioned, and don't forget to leave a like. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about Sideshow. And I want to talk about this stuff that Sideshow, of course, Sideshow Con. I gotta be honest with you, Sideshow Con has gotten to the place where when they announce it, I'm not intrigued or like, oh my god, something's gonna blow my mind. I'm not. You know, they just gotta be honest with you. It's getting to a place where Sideshow Con is just like it's a commercial stunt, sales pitch from Sideshow to sell everything else they have on available from everybody else. But there's nothing there that they produce or they sell that really makes me feel like, oh my god, this is it. This is the end of everything. This is the change that the hobby needs, and we're going in the right direction. You know, it's good, it's cool, they're amazing looking pieces sometimes, but other than that, it's like I'm not like, oh my god, losing any sleep over it. But I want to talk about, in that case, I want to take you to, you know, I'm not trying to feel like or make anybody feel like, oh my god, it's something wrong with you if you love Sideshow, and if you're a fan of what they produce. No, you know, by all means, love Sideshow. You know, there's nothing wrong with loving this stuff that Sideshow does. You know, I think Sideshow, it's great at what they do, but make no mistake, you know, like definitely there's sometimes that the Sideshow can be a hit or miss in so many areas, and I think one of them is the fact that everything they produce, and here's where we're coming soon, this is what has been showcased so far. And of course, a lot of art prints, great art prints. I'm okay with the art prints, nothing wrong with art prints. I love a lot of this stuff, but a lot of the stuff that was showcased so far, I'm not necessarily, I would say, blown away by all of this. You got the Mega Man X Zero Deluxe, also from PCS. That is also was announced. They have this here, the Frankie Reborn by Olivia De Verdini. They have the art print, and also they have a statue that was showcased. And this is the first thing that they showcase. I think the statue is great. If you're into the weird stuff, into this type of thing, then definitely you're gonna love her art. This is a statue. I think they did a fantastic job in bringing her art to this, and it looks good. This is, in my opinion, a great, you know, a surprise, something new. Like, this is the thing. If you know Sideshow, you know that Sideshow is always gonna have something on the weird side. Like, something's gonna showcase something that looks kind of weird, that is for a niche thing, and they're good at those things. They're very good. I don't think other companies do. They're good at bringing some of those talented artists that they not necessarily have a medium to express their stuff in art, in this art form, which is the statue form, and they're able to kind of pull those artists in, and they've been doing that with a different signature style, different collections that they're doing with the stuff, whether it's an art print form, whether it's in the vinyl stuff, but also they're doing with the statue. And I will tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the only benefit is the point cash system, the cash rewards. Yeah, that's the only thing. You know, if you buy something from them, you get some extra cash you can use later on. I still have points that I haven't used, and they've been accumulating there. I don't use them. You know, I got to the point that I got tired of using too some stuff. Like, you know, it's the idea, oh, you can use it now because it's a special sale. I love the sales, you know, but so far right now, there's a couple of things that I might be interested on, but I'm holding on to some of the things that I gotta take care of. So I haven't really used some of those points. I'm holding on for a time when I feel like this is it. This is something that I can use on, and I'm probably gonna use it very soon. In any case, what I'm looking at this with this piece, it's fine. You know, I think Olivia De Verdini's, it's really a great artist, and definitely this statue is very unique, but it's not for everyone. So I will give him points on that one. That wasn't bad. Now also they showcased the Boba Fett life-size bust, which to me is like, okay, you know, not everyone cares much about the Mandalorian, and this is of course based on the Mandalorian. Well, mostly based on the book of Boba Fett. Well, actually this was the part of Boba Fett wasn't the Mandalorian. Not intrigued by it. As a life-size bust, it's not like, oh my god, this is a must. I will be okay with the statues, and they have produced statues, but if you're into busts, and definitely there's a market for it, I suppose. They know, and one thing I can say about Sideshow, they know their market. And here's the art print that goes alongside the Frankie Reborn alongside with the statue. I think they both look amazing. They did a fantastic job on both. Now, another thing that was showcased was the Joker premium format, and this is by Daniel Bell sculpted this. This is the Joker. And this is a Joker, of course. It looks interesting because I don't remember exactly which art is this based on. Let me actually come to Facebook. I don't know if it was here where he talked about it. I think it was on Instagram. In any case, Daniel Bell. Let's see what Daniel said. That's not the Daniel Bell I'm looking for. Is that Daniel Bell? Oh, that's another Daniel Bell. Oh, Daniel Bell with an L, I think is it. Yeah, this Daniel Bell with an L. I don't remember if I have it here. Right there, Daniel Bell. Here's a representation of Joker Dark Tail. This is the Dark Tail, so this is based on that. He's talking about that one. The product reveal, I will tell you, you can watch the video. I'm sure you have seen it on YouTube. Because I'm at work, I don't have the opportunity to really look at this stuff or, really kind of point this stuff. And, I didn't have time to do the live video with this stuff live, because to be honest with you, I don't have time. And to be honest, it's a lot of stuff that they put on this videos, which makes no sense to me. That instead of just concentrating stuff like Prime One with the presentation showcase stuff, it's just they do it in an hour, 2 hours pack of just a lot of great reveals, surprise after surprise after surprise. With Sideshow, it's like they're talking about a lot of stuff that is just BS in my opinion, that I don't care much about, and then they just talk about something, and they taken a entire week just to reveal a few little things that are new, which to me is like that's just sad. So this Joker looks fine. I'm not gonna say, oh my god, it's the most horrible thing or the best thing ever. I will say not because Daniel is a bad sculptor. I think he's a fantastic sculptor. He is pretty much acts on command. He's asked to do something and he portrays that, and he did a great addition. My problem that I have with Sideshow, and the problem that most people have with Sideshow right now, is the fact that everything they do, with this business, and we're going to talk about it as soon as it goes on prayer, we'll talk about it. The problem that I have with Sideshow is that how many Jokers are we going to get? How many Wolverines are we going to get? How many? It's always the same thing. On the strange characters, they produce little stuff, but they don't keep up with this collection. Like this, the one that we just saw, that statue. Yeah, she's cool, but she's going to be a standalone piece. That's about it. They're not going to build that collection. They don't, and they're going to keep milking the Joker till Kingdom Come. That's what they have done for the past 10 years. That's what they have done. And nothing against Daniel Bell. I think he's a great artist. He's fantastic. He did his job, but it's another Joker when there's so plenty Jokers out there. Another thing, the Wolverine running. This actually is based, it's sculpted by where's that? I forgot. Remind me, the greatest artist ever. I forgot the name. Right now it's too late anyway. So I'm thinking about the things. Technically, the Godfather is sculpting in Argentina. I try to remember the name. I just forgot. The guy pretty much everybody learned from. But here you can see it's very close to the one that we already had before. The one that was produced. Oh, let's see. I'll remember. I'm right now. It's too late right now, perhaps, and I'm just getting too tired. Wolverine statue right here. That was sculpted by. Oh my god. And I know this because he's one of my favorite sculptors of all time, but right now I'm just Martin Canale. Martin Canale produces it. Some people are saying that actually this is a variant of Martin Canale's version, and to be honest with you, when you look at this piece, you definitely can see Martin Canale on that expression. This is a variant, and they just do some swap out things here and change out things on this pose, but it still is technically the same thing as we have. Some people don't like the force angles on this place on like this. See this little ninja in the background? That's the force view that they do. Something that Sideshow's been doing a lot lately with a lot of statues. They do that with the Spider-Man statues. They did that also with Psylocke. So something that Sideshow keeps doing, and it's fine, but not everybody likes it. I'm not saying that the sculpt is bad. I think it's interesting. It's a great concept. It's in battle. I know it's gonna sell well. It's a given that it's going to do well. But the problem with this is that it's another Wolverine in the long list of Wolverines. And every time they turn around, they redo a Wolverine, or they do a different variation of Wolverine. So this is we already got a Joker. Another Joker. Now you have the Wolverine. People will say, well, what is next? You know, you're gonna get a new Batman, which we haven't had them so far. But we had a new Harley Quinn based on the most recent film. Another Harley Quinn. And I gotta be honest, this Harley Quinn looks fine, you know, as a premium format, but it's not gonna be better than what Prime One Studio does or any other people that they are doing this version of Harley Quinn. You know, like, I don't know if J&D is doing one. Everybody's doing one. So another Harley Quinn. The base is fine. I'm not crazy about the base. The sculpt is good. I know some people are still gonna go for her because they love Harley Quinn. They love Margot Robbie. But another Harley Quinn. There's to me, it's like they're not really trying to change things. They're trying to bring something new out of the blue, a character that people have been asking for years. No, they just bring in the same character over and over. You get a new version of Harley Quinn. You get Harley Quinn like this. Next one is gonna be Harley Quinn dress up as a nurse, or Harley Quinn dress up as a cyberpunk, or Harley Quinn, classic Harley Quinn, or modern Harley Quinn, or you know, like Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. You know, there's always a new Harley Quinn. You know, it's like people are getting tired of the same rinse and repeat that Sideshow's been doing. And to be honest, I don't blame them. You know, I respect the artists. I respect what they're doing. But it's the same thing over and over. So it's just not changing. Like Iron Man is another character. Like lately it's been kind of slow with Iron Man's, but they went back another maquette. And the maquette is a pose that they have done before. The same pose is just a different, it's the Mark III, but it's the same pose they have used for other maquettes in the past. So there's nothing really groundbreaking of anything that they have done so far here. Another thing that this week have a lot of criticism with them, of course, we had the Ahsoka Tano that was released, the 6-scale figures. I will tell you, there was a lot of criticism because the figure looks good on the prototype. It's fine. People were excited. But if you come to, I'm going to go back to Facebook. Let's come to, I'm going to show you, in this case, what is that? Let Your Geek Sideshow. I forgot the name of this group that sometimes, you know, I don't see the point of it. But in any case, I'm still following them because, you know, sometimes you get announcements. You get that. The Chris Michael is going to be at SideshowCon to a Twitter hit. This is the thing. It's been like back and forth with this piece. These pieces. These are some of the announcements that they were showcased on the SideshowCon of these figures that were announced and people were in love with them. People are hating on the sculpt here. And to be honest with you, I gotta be honest. I give him credit of that. It looks terrible. It looks so plasticky. It looks so cheap. It looks like a Hasbro figure. You know, I'm not saying the Hasbro figures are bad, but you know, even Hasbro figures have better standards. And this is just bad pictures, or some pictures are taken of those figures, and people are criticizing. People are just not happy with this line. The prototypes look so good, and there's a lot of people coming into here onto this group, and they've been trying to, hey, look there, Randy Bowen. So here you have a lot of different things here. You know, I don't know if I can see more, but people were like, there was like posts, and they've been deleting posts and posting posts and deleting posts and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of people are so not happy with that figure. And man, this figure is bad. But if you can go not only there, you can go to any of their 1/6 scale collector pages. It's been such a criticism in regards to that particular figure. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get anything else here. Trying to go down. Whatever, let's get out of here. So people are not liking those figures. Definitely this collection, when you compare them, and there's a lot of criticism because of the videos that they have been produced. People are not really feeling it. Let me see. Anakin, because when you look at Anakin, when you look at these figures, the prototypes, they look amazing, but on the video on the SideshowCon, they just don't look right. You know, like they definitely went into the cheap route, and the molding, all that. It's just, it doesn't look quality as it looks here. So definitely a lot of people are just canceling their orders, and they're just moving on. And so to be honest with you, Sideshow's been through the ringer this week in some ways. Some people love it because of course they have all this extra things that they give, and you know, that's fine. You know, you get the gifts, you know, stuff like that. They've been doing all the mini promotions. I haven't really keep up with it. Let me read some of the comments, and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts in regards to the whole show. Let's see. Okay. The only benefit is the point cash. Of course, that's the only point, or the only benefit of going to Sideshow. Frankie is very interesting, kind of a new age taste pinup style. Yep, it is. I love this Joker statue. You know, as long as you're happy with it, by all means. You know, I'm not saying that it's a bad piece. It is a nice piece, but another Joker statue. There's nothing wrong with the Joker. Some people didn't like the sculpt or the design, but it's just based on the art that he took inspiration from. But it's just another Joker, you know. And here I see the him hidden in the crowbar around his back is really good. Yes, the artist nailed it, and I hope people appreciate this. Yeah, I think, you know, I don't think the criticism has been with this piece. When I go to Statue Forum and read the comments, the criticism hasn't been on the sculpt. Although some people, of course, everyone has a particular, you know, they have a different style. When they think about the Joker, they're thinking in a way of the Joker. Everyone has a different Joker in mind, and there's always gonna be that. This has a more classic look, which is fine. I love classic Joker. I think the biggest criticism has been the fact that it's another Joker, and every year there's a new Joker. It's like, how many Jokers can we produce when there's so many other characters that people have been asking for forever? Iron Man, Spider-Man, Boba Fett, Jokers, they all keep getting recycled. Yeah, it's just, that's the thing. It's this recycle, you know, characters. Nothing new, nothing groundbreaking, nothing like, for example, with XM Studios, that is that a thing statue. And also they have some other new stuff that I've seen that they have showcased on the private groups that they run by XM Studios, where they showcase stuff that they don't want you to showcase anywhere else. And in those groups, they showcase some amazing stuff. There's characters that are coming that we haven't seen in statue form. Sideshow has never produced. And I know that there's some things coming. There's a Mr. Sinister coming very soon from XM Studios. There's a big Superman diorama with a lot of stuff coming soon, like they have done with the Batman diorama, with a lot of this all the characters of the around Batman, and the one with Wonder Woman. Now the Superman also, and I've seen we have seen the prints or the renderings, and it looked good. That is what these companies are doing, and Prime wants, and Sideshow is just entertained by just keep doing the same thing because it sells. Also because I assume that somebody's buying them. This is I hear you. That's what I've been hearing too. Same old character, not branching out. The base for Harley didn't mesh with the statue. It doesn't look good. That base is just boring. The statue is fine, just the base is not good. They need to change that. I would love more Cyclops or Nightcrawler. Absolutely, more villains. BCC. Agreed. Is that talking about the group? Let me see if I can find the group. BSC or BCC? Let me see if I can hear. I don't remember. No, I don't remember. I might not reading this well here. In any case, going back to what I was saying. Going back to what I'm saying. It's just the problem with Sideshow, it's that the whole presentation, I'm okay with a presentation. I'm okay with them trying to sell the stuff. But everything you do is like live streams. Like, for example, like they went into the live show, which I think was better. It was better when they were doing the live things in the morning. It was better because it gives a whole day to see things instead of just going to the live show at night. I just don't get it. And to be honest with you, I'm to the point that I don't care anymore for what they have to offer. Oh, Batman Statue Collector. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was like, what do you mean by BSC, Batman Statue Collector? Yeah, the Batman Statue Collector group or channel. Yes. You know, I will tell you one thing. I did not watch the thing. The day that the first presentation there was a live show, I didn't watch it. I went to take the dog. I went for a walk, and I'm so glad that I did. And I came back. The show was over. Whatever they have live show, it was nothing. And I saw Chris and the group, the guys that he worked, they normally are in his show, and they were doing the live show. So I went and kind of listened to what they were saying, and it was just disappointment. They were talking about disappointment. And when I said, you know what, that's the reason why I didn't watch it, because I already expect to be disappointed. There's nothing new with Sideshow. And the problem is that Sideshow has changed the way they do things. You know, they just don't do the things that they used to do. it has become such a big company in the sense that they are no longer invested into engaging with the collectors in the way they did before. People, they're gonna tell you that, but they have so many people working on their social media feed, and most of them are into the figure stuff. You know, it's all about figures. It has become more about 1/6 scale figure collectors. And even the Let Your Geek Sideshow group is just a waste of time, because it's just people just talking about memes all day and talking about complaining about this or complaining about that, which I'm okay. Yeah, I think groups are good for that. But it's not like it used to be when Sideshow, I remember when they were involved with Statue Forum or Sideshow Freaks Forum, and they were there engaging with people in regards to the art. And I feel that they were running polls. I remember there were like times where they would run polls about what characters we would like to see. I haven't seen that anymore. They don't do it anymore. They don't ask. They just simply go for what they think is going to sell, and it's always the same characters over and over. It's like it's a rehash of the same thing, and it's just not working in my opinion anymore. Like, yes, you know, like there was some comments. I think it was Rat Titan group. There were some people saying, or in other groups, they were saying that the hobby is dying out. And I'm going to disagree with that point. I don't think the hobby is dying out. The hobby is not. Some people, they were disagreeing with me saying, well, you know, like I said, I don't think so. I think the hobby is stronger than ever, in the sense that there are more companies producing more stuff than ever before. Prices are sky high. And the reason why they're sky is because materials are expensive. However, people are still buying, which tells you that there is still a market, and the market is bigger than ever before. So the apples are there for the taking. It's just the company that are willing to go the extra mile to do whatever they need to do. That's what we have seen in the last 8 years with Prime One Studio. They have really come really full force because they have find an easier. Started with Transformer stuff, but they have moved into so many different things because they saw potential in all these different licenses, and they continue to do it. XM Studios has been doing an amazing job. They've been expanding as a company. Other companies are really growing and expanding and seeing the opportunity, catering to a market that still wants high-end collectibles, that is willing to pay the high prices, that has the means for it, and is willing to do it as long as they get the characters that they want. But Sideshow continues to produce now. I remember when back in the day when Sideshow was amazing in the sense that I was always blown away every year. Sideshow Comic-Con was coming, and you knew that there will be something that will blow your mind, and they did. They did. But now it's just, unless there's some surprises that they have next week, or surprises that come with, you know, when San Diego Comic-Con is here, which I'm sure they're gonna have some stuff. But nothing that's really so far made me feel like, my gosh, this is the ultimate thing. This is amazing this year. And yes, I know we're coming from COVID. I know COVID also has has left a mark in the way companies are operating things, and, you know, financially and all that. They're gonna have to play it safe for a little bit. But at the same time, I feel like if other companies are willing to pull the strings and are able to push hard to get where they need to go, I feel that Sideshow can do it. But, you know, it goes back to the way companies run now, who runs it, who manage it, you know, the people involved in the whole process. And yeah, people are gonna say that I'm just a hater speaking to the wind, you know, that I'm just yelling in the little corner of the world. And yes, I might be that, but there's no excitement, you know. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me as much because I'm not a quarter scale collector anymore. You know, like I'm invested into 1/6. Twitterhead is the one that is having my money right now. I love what Twitterhead is doing. I love what Kotobukiya is coming with full force. Looking forward to see what the Kuchiki products are gonna do there. 1/6 scale, it is my mojo. It is what I love. And I feel that many companies are really getting into that route. We're getting to see more of that. But I'm not really excited with what Sideshow's doing. And you know, and that is, unfortunately, it's sad. You know, it's not interesting at all. This is right there, Late Night Trip. They have too much to sell now. They are for the all-around collectors. Yeah, you know, they're gonna be doing that. You know, and I'm telling you, in these videos that I do, on the live videos, I talk about so many different collectibles. And I'm okay with Sideshow selling products for all these companies because there's profit to be made, and they're doing a fantastic job as distributors. They are great. But I do miss the time where Sideshow it was the intention of the company was just to produce the ultimate depictions of certain characters. And I think they still have potential. They have the financial means for it if they're willing to invest. But perhaps the return to that investment is not as great as it is distributing for somebody else. Ultimately, they're going to do what is best for them. But at the same time, it really pushes Sideshow in a direction that it doesn't engage collectors the way they did. And the same happened with, I remember with DC Direct. DC Direct, at time, this is when DC Direct started, they started producing just for the collector. DC Direct, DC Collectibles later, and they went back to DC Direct. It was just for a niche market. But then when DC Direct, it started just going into like, let's expand in numbers, let's produce high quantities of products. Like they went for the, you know, starting with 5,000 pieces of the same thing. This is Direct started losing a lot of credibility among collectors. Collectors stopped collecting a lot of stuff, and they were doing the rehashing of certain characters, or they were doing the second editions and third editions of the same character. Ultimately, and some people will say that that was part of the demise of DC Collectibles, because at some point DC Collectibles became a company that was no longer in the mind of collectors as a high-end collectible company. It's more and more about the mass production of pieces, or mass production of anything for all fans. And I feel that in some ways, Sideshow has become part of that. You know, unfortunately, in a quarter scale level, they have done that, because now people don't see Sideshow. Sometimes I feel people talk about, like, I see a lot of people talking smack about Sideshow all the time on the groups. They always talk about this stuff as if this stuff is garbage, and it's not. It is not. It's just the same thing. And they have large edition sizes, and those things take away from the collectible value of certain items. Yeah, they look amazing, but once you have a piece that you cannot get rid of because you have to sell it, and ultimately you're gonna have to sell, because that's part of the hobby too. You're gonna have to switch things, and you're always constantly changing your collection, and you want to add something new and different. So when you want to sell, let's say, your Wolverine, now you have to sell a Wolverine with many other variants of Wolverine, and there's an edition size of 5,000 or 10,000. So like, you lost money. You're not gonna sell it. So that's something that really hurts the hobby, and that's the reason why people go into XM Studios or other companies, because they know they can get more money, you know, for that investment. At the end of the day, collectibles, yes, they look amazing to display, but also they're an investment. You know, you have to see it like that. You want top shop for collecting. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what you want. Stop for everything. That's pretty much what it is. You know, they are the Walmart of collectibles now. They have become that, you know, and I don't know. You know, it's sad to see in some way, because the mighty have fallen in some way. How the mighty have fallen is just the way I see it. Now, coming to the end of the video. Yeah, coming to the end of the video. I don't want to sound like, oh my God, it's doom and gloom here, because it's not. Maybe I went a little extreme with it, because there's so much that I feel in some way frustrated with Sideshow. I will tell you, I was collecting Sideshow collectibles. I started collecting statues in the early 2000s. I got married, and for 4 years, 5 years, I did not collect anything. I was not collecting. I was still collecting diecast stuff and action figures, things like that, but I wasn't collecting statues. When I came back in 2007, that's when actually Sideshow had like a few years that were actually booming with a lot of stuff. They were selling a lot of stuff. Premium formats, maquettes, you know, the amazing looking pieces. And I came in that moment where Sideshow was like growing, expanding, exploding. So I was able not to grab everything, but I grabbed a few pieces that I like, you know, premium format stuff. I was intrigued by the premium format figure. I started collecting a lot of premium format. I think the one that really hurt me the most and stopped collecting premium format figure was when Rogue, the first Rogue, came out, and he was my piece came so bad, and you know, like it was a lot of problems, QC problems. So that was to me the awakening moment and that's years ago, that necessarily Sideshow wasn't all there. And I feel the prices started going up, you know. I started, when I was here, premium formats were $300, and that time was the top of, you know, like expanding money for collectibles. And I've only ordered from them. There's 330 scalp that I'm wanting, and have to look in other companies. Thanks for your recommendations. Yeah, no problem, late night. But I will tell you, like, I was like, you know, right now, I tell you, Sideshow is, right now I was reading some comments, people complaining about the price of the shipping really high from them. So I will tell you, try to go Big Bad Toy Store. Big Bad Toy Store, you might pay more, but ultimately, for the price of the piece, but on the shipping cost is the best part. I think the $4 flat fee. So ultimately, you're paying a lot less. Some people are going on their route. Spec Fiction is fair also with the prices. So look into those options, because Sideshow is really killing it with the prices. Even though they have supposedly better deals with UPS and all that, they still feel that sometimes they charge it too much ship something that actually shouldn't cost that much. But that's just in my experience. I noticed that. That's the thing I'm thinking about ordering the Twitter. Of course, it's the only place to order the He-Man and Battlecat, which I'm going to order soon. But I'm not gonna when I'm sure that the shipping cost is gonna be huge for that piece because it's gonna be heavy, and not sure. But it's only through Sideshow. It's the only way you can buy it through Sideshow. So that shipping is gonna kill. You know, it's gonna kill because I know some people are already paying a lot of dollars for big pieces. In any case, going back to what I was saying with Sideshow, like I was collecting it, and that's when I started going into the 1/6 route. That's when I started feeling like, okay, I need to go into something else. I'm looking into Kotobukiya and Bowen designs, which I was familiar with Bowen designs prior, but I started getting into it, and from that moment I got hooked. I got rid of all my quarter scale stuff, all my maquette stuff, all my comic kits that were 1/5 scale, and I didn't look back. You know, I haven't looked back since. And sometimes I feel like, man, I would love to try a quarter scale again, but you know, I don't have the space for quarter scale, and you know, I don't, and that's just the way it is. Although there's some amazing looking quarter scale pieces, the problem is that Sideshow is no longer the #1 company that you're looking at. Yes, you're looking at because they still produce some good stuff, but they keep repeating the same characters. They skip on characters. Some characters never see the light of day. And there are characters that, in my opinion, they will sell so well and people will jump on them right away if Sideshow decides to go on that route. But it's easier, I suppose, to sell a Wolverine statue at 5,000, 10,000 pieces than a Nightcrawler, only 2,500 pieces. So they're going to go for the characters that sell the most, because ultimately Sideshow, it's most people that come to Sideshow, people that they're just buying that piece for the first time, or they get into the hobby for the first time. So it's easier to go to Sideshow because there's an option. There's always going to be a Wolverine available. So they're going to go for that character because that's a character that everybody wants. Everybody wants the main characters that everybody knows, and that's about it. You know, that's the way it is. And unfortunately, that's the way they have been operating for years. And sadly, it's just becoming worse and worse. And I don't get excited. So when they say, oh, SideshowCon is coming, we're going to give you all this discount, and you sign up for this, and you can get a price for that. And it's like, I don't care. I don't care about the price. I don't care about your prices. I got to be honest with you. I don't care. Yeah, I like free stuff like everybody else. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to be watching your live stream for hours on end just to get the possibility maybe to get something. No. I have to work for a living, you know? I have to work for a living so I can buy the stuff that I really want. And honestly, Sideshow is not it, you know? It's not what I want, not right now. So it sucks, but that's the way it is. And yeah, no, the hub is not dying. The hub is still alive. It's still strong. You know, like people say that it's dying. No, it's not dying. It's still strong. It has shifted into something new and different. And that's the way it is. My friends, I want to say thank you very much. I will tell you, I appreciate your time, each one of you. Thank you for taking the time. I know some of you, you know, sticking here with me till the end. Some of you are busy, but I appreciate your time. Those who are coming later to watch this, thank you very much. Now, I'm working on trying to I'm thinking about I'm coming back with the podcast at some point. I don't know when exactly. I want to start season 3 of the podcast. I'm working on that. I'm moving from one host to another. The host that I had that I was using since the beginning, I wasn't crazy about that host. And I'm moving to another one where I'm able, because that host, the one that I had previously, you have to pay, which I was paying for it for the service, but you have a limit of numbers. So many of my old episodes got deleted. So I'm going to a new host. I'm going to upload all my old episodes. I have 206 episodes total. So there's a big number of episodes. And I was looking at numbers. Actually, it's October and November. It's going to be 4 years when I started the podcast. So we're going to celebrate in October 4 years. So I want to start again. The first season was when I was doing it through JP's Reviews through here to the channel. And I was recording directly through the channel. And the second season, I created a different channel. The links are in the description. But I want to start with more interviews. I want to kind of change the podcast. I want to do new things with the podcast. So I'm working on that. Stay tuned for that. You know, right now that everything is settling with a new job and getting comfortable with it, and I'm really good with the time and the schedules and all that. So we'll see more videos. We'll see what happens. But I want to say to all of you, thank you, Eddie. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Late Night Trip. Thank you, everybody. These streams are relaxing and educational. Oh, I appreciate it. You know, they're relaxing for me. That's for sure. And definitely I learn a lot too, watching and looking and getting information and looking at this stuff. But yeah, I will tell you, I think, like, I will tell you the last thought that I can share with you. Like, people are saying that the hobby is dying, and I have a couple of friends that they're moving out of this hobby, they're going into something else, and much respect to them, you know, more power to them. Everybody comes to a different place in life depending on where they at in their life, you know. And some of those friends that are moving out, I will tell you, they also have small kids. I don't have that problem. I'm not saying that it's a problem to raise kids. You know, my kid is grown, is married, is gone. So technically just my wife and I. So now I'm in a place in my life where I can invest in more stuff that I did before. But at the same time, you know, everybody's in a different stage. And I think people get tired of something and they try something else. And that's fine. It's okay. You know, collectibles are come in all shapes and forms and sizes. And sometimes you can take a break for a while and then come back strong again. It's up to you. You can do whatever. It's not like there's no law. But when people are saying, well, because of their perception of their personal experience, oh, everything is going too high, this is a bubble that's going to burst. They all say this, and this is more about your own limited perception of the world. You're only seeing things from your perspective. You see them from your angles, and your angles tells you, oh, this is it, this is that. But that's not the whole truth. You have to see things from above. And the numbers don't lie. You know, even though everything is going up in prices, companies are selling more than ever before. And there's more companies coming because they see potential. They see the numbers. Companies are being bought by bigger corporations because they see that there's potential. There's potential in this market. So they're still going to be there. And they're going to milk it and they're going to continue because these characters are timeless. But I think, unfortunately, it's evolving into a lot of things. It's more, you know, I would say mainstream, which is changing and shifting for what it used to be, which was a very niche market just dedicated to a particular small group of people. Now it's going into big leagues. And with that, it comes with a lot of things that come with big things. When the companies go mainstream, a lot of things change. You know, the service that you used to have changes. The direct approach that you have with the company and the producers and the producers and the artists changes because now they're working for these corporations and it's all about numbers. So there is change. There is change for sure. Not saying that the market is going to die. I don't think it's going to die. I think it's going to evolve, and it's evolving and continues to evolve every day. And it might not be for everyone, but I think it's still there and there's still potential. You have to pick and choose your battles. And there's potential for a lot of great things. That's why you see these videos take forever, but it's because we talk about so many different collectibles and so many different franchises. So there's something for everyone. So that is good. It's not necessarily bad. It doesn't mean that it's dying. It might be dying for some people, but it's not dying as a whole. I think it will survive. Even with the high prices, it will continue to rise and hopefully adapt for the best, but only time can tell. That's something that I don't have control. Nobody really knows. Nobody reads the future. My friends, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for tonight. It was a pleasure talking to you. Don't forget to leave a like, to leave a comment. Also, if you like the content of the channel, don't forget, also support me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are down below. Follow me there. Also consider supporting the channel financially through Patreon. It really helps this channel. You can also do that through super chat. Whatever you do to help this channel really helps me to produce better content and really invest into the equipment that we need for this. Stay tuned. Thank you. Throughout the week we'll have more videos. Thank you for those who watched my video on my trip to Michigan. Appreciate it. I'm gonna have more videos from that trip, so stay tuned for that. A couple of things that we did over there, but also I'm working on some videos reviews, so stay tuned for those reviews as well. So my friend, God bless you. Have a great night. Take care. All of you have a great weekend. I'll talk